kickoff. This is the 10th all-time matchup between these programs, but the first time they've met in the Big 12. We're underway in Tucson. Fair catch signaled for. And so we'll get our first look at Noah Fifita. He's 3 yards shy of moving past Anu Solomon for 4th in U of A history today, so some milestones on his horizon as we see the Cats in their sandstorm uniforms this week to play the Pokes.
One of the more experienced quarterbacks in the Big 12, a conference that brought back a ton of them this year. And for Noah Fifita, we mentioned last week, his first multi-interception game of 2025. I'm sure offensive coordinator Seth Dagey and he want to come out early and get that bad taste out of their mouth.
Second crack at it for the Pokes under interim head coach and offensive coordinator Doug Meacham, but they will begin on defense against Fifita and the Cats, who have run the ball well so far this season behind Ismail Mahdi, second in the Big 12 in yards per carry at nearly 7 per tote.
Had his breakout performance against Kansas State, 189 rushing yards, one of the most versatile pieces on offense in all college football.
They begin with some tempo against an Oklahoma State group that's light up front and dismal in their secondary in terms of depth. And that will be tested early and often, a 12-yard run here.
Breaking through that initial wave right here, you can run it from Mahdi. An inside zone rep presses the hole and then just getting enough. Parker Robertson on that back end.
Cats pick up their first down. Fake the jet sweep. Fifita up the middle, and he has been more of a running threat this season, 3 yards on the pickup.
34 carries on this season, a lot more of them designed. That was something Seth Dagey brought over with him and believed that Fifita could utilize. And JB, it was one of the areas in that loss to Iowa State that I thought was missing early in that game while it was still in balance. Less Noah Fifita early on the ground. I think a great way to give a defense a little bit more to think about for a quarterback this capable.
5'10" junior from California awaits in the shotgun. Pokes creeping. They'll run it right back at him. Hit the left edge and midfield. Another first down, this time in Oklahoma State territory for Izzy Mahdi. 13 on the ground.
A lot of counter runs, 2 pullers coming right to left, and he gets up to that second level, and this time Parker Robertson has that angle quickly erased by the speed of Mahdi.
Now on the toss. The Cats sticking with a deliberate ground approach and close to another first down beneath the 35-yard line. Kyron Duhan in pursuit there. Among those Pokes missing, Jaleel Johnson and Deshaun Brown on their front today. It's a gain of 10. And Seth Dagey's offense rolling here early.
See Coach Dagey in this offensive crew getting it going early on. When we were here early in the season against Hawaii, I thought particularly the ground game was a big strength for them.
They'll put trips into the boundary and motion out of it here. May have a free play. Flag at the snap, going vertical. Why not take that chance? Has the look of a neutral zone infraction. Our referee today is Luke Richmond. I'll mention some of the Pokes missing today, including junior safety Dylan Smith, who has reportedly entered the transfer portal. Co-starter David Kabongo was the next to leave, reported just yesterday. DeAndre Boykin, starting defensive tackle Demarion Thomas. Just some of the names on the depth chart that are not
Offside.
playing today.
Defense, number 5. 5-yard penalty, first down.
And Brian McCoy Jr., the senior linebacker, was offside.
Seth Dagey right there. Bad circle last time. Plenty of airtime for them. They're not going to complain about it.
Way to go back to it, though, Mike. This is all about correcting mistakes for Arizona this week, so way to be on brand, on theme. After Oklahoma State deferred and gave the first possession to the Arizona Wildcats, here's Fifita to the end zone. Busted up, incomplete. New Watley was the target.
Great job on the breakup here by Kenneth Harris. That ball just hung up in the air for a little bit long. had Watley initially beat, but just kept with it, got a hand in there, did 23 diving at the end of that play. An incredible effort from, as we've pointed out, a position group affected by all of the turnover on this team more than any other.
Harris, a super senior, now in his 3rd season in Stillwater. After the shot play, 2nd down and 5 for Fafita. Clapping for the snap. Off play action, drives one, completes to the 20. Chris Hunter leads his team with 4 drops, something that they're trying to clean up. They get it in his hands early and gain 9, a new 1st down.
RPO look here. Fafita has the decision to hand it off and run it or pull it as we get an empty set.
8th play of the drive, down the line, right back to him. Behind his blocks and out of bounds above the 15-yard line. Hunter runs 6'1". He's a junior. He missed the season opener against Hawaii, but emerged as the wide receiver 2 last season after replacing Montana Lamonius Craig. And slow to get up and head to his sideline here after back-to-back receptions. We saw 12 there, Trey Spivey, who was a game-time decision. We watched Spivey shadow him rep after rep and walk through yesterday, and here he is pressed into duty on the game's 1st possession.
Look at the end of it here, coming off that wide receiver screen, and looks like his left foot just stepping on top of the defender's back leg right there. So hopefully just a minor tweak as he heads back over to the Wildcat sideline now.
It's tailback Kedrick Risino, who was available last week but did not play, number 3 there for Arizona, trying to pave the way for Chris Hunter. Motti returns to the backfield now. 2nd down in the red zone. Poke showing blitz, picked up, and now the protection breaks down and Fafita is sacked. Malik Charles with a loss of 6.
Incredible job. You see the blitz timed up here by Brandon Rawls at linebacker and just works right through the block of Motti up front to force that initial pressure. Fafita has to duck his eyes, and the cleanup crew able to roll in and make a great play.
Fafita back to work. Wants to unload quickly. Gets it back in the red area and gives his head coach the option to maybe go for it here on 4th down. Nunu Watley had a chance in the end zone and could not reel it in. This is a gain of 10 and the offense staying on the field. Give Cam Smith, a senior corner, the tackle for the Pokes.
Yeah, I think this is the right call. I know you had some issues with the snaps on field goal a week ago, and so we see extra offensive linemen trotting out onto the field right now. They're going to get big and give their offense a great opportunity. Actually, that's a replacement right there. Ty Buchanan, the left tackle, jogging off right now. Looks a little shaken up.
Arizona 5 of 16 last week on 3rd and 4th down combined. Chance to make amends here on their home field on the subsequent Saturday. Timeout, Arizona.
Timeout, Arizona. 1st of the half. We have 30-second timeout.
Let's go down to the field. Back to Jared.
But JB, you saw the injury to Chris Hunter. He is in the medical tent right now. I've observed that the athletic trainers have taken off his right cleat and working on that lower right foot ankle area. I'll get you an update on his status as soon as the school provides one.
Thank you very much, Jared Greenberg from our sideline. So far, Arizona has gone 62 yards in 10 plays, opting not to attempt a field goal, at least at first glance. And your indication is that it's still going to be a 4th down go for it here?
Yeah, I think it's the right opportunity. You've got an opposing team coming in who's no doubt wounded right now, and you don't want to give them any life early. A stop here, if Oklahoma State's able to hold them to 3, that's a win for the defense coming off this first drive. And so I think giving your offense a chance here to put their foot all the way down on the gas, try and finish this 1-7, the right call to start this game for Brent Brennan.
Pokes looking for a 4th down stand in the red zone. Fafita will take the 11th play of this march. Needs 3 on 4th down. Drives one. Caught. End zone. Touchdown. Trey Spivey for the 2nd week in a row, and the Cats strike first.
Outstanding job by Fafita, driving the ball into a tight red zone window and giving his wide receiver the chance to make the great run after the catch. Almost looked like they got him to jump off sides using the hard count before this play. But you see Spivey, great move right there, finds the zone and settles down before putting his shoulders down and getting into pay dirt.
Third time in 5 games that Arizona has scored a touchdown on their opening possession. Michael Salgado Medina tacks on the extra points. And after trailing for the first time all season last weekend in Ames, it's a 7-zip start for the Arizona Wildcats.
Ponvory is approved for the treatment of relapsing forms of multiple sclerosis in adults. Ponvory lowers the number of white blood cells, lymphocytes, in your blood. Usually, this will return to normal within 1 to 2 weeks of stopping treatment. Ponvory can increase your risk of serious infections that can be life-threatening and may cause death. Ponvory can cause your heart rate to slow down, especially after you take your first dose. Do not take Ponvory if in the last 6 months you had a heart attack, unstable angina, stroke, or other severe heart conditions, including certain types of abnormal heart rhythm. The most common side effects of Ponvory include upper respiratory tract infections, elevated liver enzymes, and high blood pressure. Starting treatment with Ponvory will begin with the starter pack. Ask your doctor about Ponvory or visit ponvory.com to learn more. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
I want to be done with Coyote Pass.
Janelle wants to sell. Mary wants to sell.
Robin has been just struggling to let go of the dream. We bought a dream. The dream is gone.
I'm out here dating again. It's strange.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Speed Dating.
Married twice, only one at a time.
Sister Wives, all new. Sunday at 10. See it first on TLC.
The NHL on TNT kicks off live from Las Vegas.
You better be ready.
Opening night is always special. You get those butterflies, the season starting, you're all excited.
We have a great doubleheader coming your way.
Playing as Boston, it's a big rivalry.
Playing in Vegas is probably my favorite building. There we go, Las Vegas. What a place to kick it off.
Can't wait to get the season going.
Bruins, Capitals, Kings, Golden Knights. Wednesday at 6 on TNT.
Big 12 college football on TNT Sports is presented by Modelo, the official beer of the college football playoff. And by Vanda Pharmaceuticals, innovating in the pursuits of people's happiness. Welcome back to Tucson. 86 degrees on this Saturday afternoon. The Arizona scoring drive, 75 yards and 11 plays. They convert on 4th down to put it in the end zone. And Noah Fafita now 4th in the career passing list for these Cats.
We know career season in 2023 looking a lot more like that so far this year, and an excellent start to this game. Great accuracy, dominating on the ground. Everything looking good right now.
It'll be a touchback, and Zane Flores will get his first opportunity. Say this about Oklahoma State, they're nothing if not entertaining on offense.
No doubt. Doug Meacham took the restrictor plate off the Red Dragon last week and gave it a little bit more juice. It's not been often, JB, that I have to put a wide receiver down as 3 of 4 passing for 46 yards and a touchdown. But that's exactly what Sam Jackson was last week. A dynamic playmaker, a former college quarterback during his time at Cal, and someone that Doug Meacham has full confidence getting involved and making opposing defenses worry about all day.
The third-year freshman at the controls for Oklahoma State, chasing a touchdown as they get their first opportunity. A little now route out to the perimeter, and Arizona swarms it. By the way, don't think that I didn't catch your Red Dragon reference for the second week in a row. Went right over my head last week in Lawrence, but I was ready here in Tucson.
We're getting the reps together right now, and that's been exactly the case for Zane Flores so far this season. Was in the quarterback competition with Hoss Haney in fall camp, obviously thrust into duty, and now finally starting to get into rhythm in the last couple of games here.
And neither Gavin Hunter nor Michael Dansby starting in the secondary, though they are dressed for Arizona. Something to monitor here at the mesh point, as the Pokes will run it right between the sticks. 3rd down and long upcoming. It's a gain of 3. Rodney Fields Jr. is a freshman from Wright City, Oklahoma. He's 4th in the conference at 5.7 yards per carry. Taking over the lead role in the Oklahoma State backfield.
And this is where, if you're Arizona on defense, you got to be ready for the gadgets right now. Backed up in a dangerous spot. alert the exotics.
Flores from the pocket, spins one sideline. What a grab. Terrell Davis, was he inbound? No. And so Danny Gonzalez and company get a 3-and-out to start their day.
So close on the sideline here. The timing just off. You see that left foot just cycled above the ground, didn't actually pull up any of the pellets that you're usually seeing on this turf, and then that right foot lands out of bounds. So unfortunately close, but 4th and punt.
A good chance to call Javion Cole's name, the junior defensive back in coverage there. Well, the strength of this Oklahoma State team right now might be their punter, Wes Paul. Nearly had it blocked. Luke Weissong is the new punt returner today for Arizona. They're going to try and take the long way to the left edge. Now slips up the sideline. Jeremiah Patterson out today, a wide receiver and a punt returner, so it's Weissong on the return. Fafita back to work after leading a touchdown drive to begin this Saturday in the deserts.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I reward full-time fans. Check out this recruit. The conductor can single-handedly hype up the crowd. This full-time fan deserves a Modelo.
The order is on the way for Jaws, who never lets go of what he loves. At least not until Dad gets on Chewy and gets him something new to love. Delivered fast. So Jaws can always live his best life. One mouthful at a time. For low prices and fast shipping. For life with...
Welcome to Halloween Baking Championship.
Baking in a competition like this is scary.
It is creepy, and I am here for it.
All new Halloween Baking Championship, Monday night at 9.
The MLB postseason already underway, and we'll have coverage all October long on TBS and HBO Max. Gojo, let's check the out-of-town scoreboard with the Milwaukee Brewers leading the Chicago Cubs 9-1 in the top of the third.
Woo, all right. A lot of familiarity in that game.
Phillies later tonight hosting the Dodgers. Second drive upcoming for Noah Fafita and the Arizona Wildcats. He connected on a 13-yard touchdown to Trey Spivey to begin his day. Monty's been the lead back. They roll his pockets. Fafita lets it fly. Incomplete. Up the seam. Chris Hunter back in the game after being stepped on deep in that first possession. Kenneth Harris, J.K. Johnson in coverage for Oklahoma State.
Well, we know about all the issues in the safety room for Oklahoma State. No surprise that Fafita in this offense trying to go back that way. But once again, Kenneth Harris showing up in the picture, continuing to contest passes. Really important early to try and deter the offense from thinking they've got easy big plays in that void.
Coverage busts were an issue last week against Baylor. Truly have been all season in this secondary. New personnel as they match up with the high-octane Arizona Wildcats. How about Mahdi and what he's brought? 189 rushing yards against Kansas State. Most against a Power 4 opponent so far this season. Gains 5 here.
494 all-purpose yards coming into this game for a guy that led all of FBS in all-purpose yards in 2024 during his time at Texas State. So they have a lot of belief in his ability wherever he touches the football to make things happen.
To the left there, Chris Hudson coming off 6 catches last week. He crosses the formation. Quincy Craig stepping into Fafita's backfield. OK State drops 8. A long wait. 5 Mississippi. Fafita on the move. He read it through to exhaustion, nothing doing. Give this secondary, retooled as it is, a coverage rep. Jacoby Oliphant Jr., a freshman linebacker and part of this next wave. Running Fafita out.
Strapping up man-to-man all over, and you just see blanketed coverage everywhere. Got to get sticky when the quarterback starts to move around in the pocket. That's when, as a defender, they call it plaster. You want to get on your man, stick with him wherever he's going, and give the quarterback no place to go. And how about Clint Bowen fired up, getting to know his defense right now and getting a lot to be excited about in the second drive.
Isaac Lovison taking over the punting duties. It's an end-over-end kick. That's retrieved by the Pokes. And they'll start from just below their 40-yard line. A lot of celebrities in attendance. Jerry Greenberg, Mike Golick Jr., and I'm told Gronk is here as well. We may talk to him by the end of the day.
Where's the beer guy?
Bud Light here?
Bud Light here!
Bud Light here?
Bud Light where?
Bud Light here!
I missed that because of you.
Hey, got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice.
Never mind!
Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
Crypto, take me home.
This is Buick, now. Buick, exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR on these 2025 Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
Do you enjoy college sports? The athletes, the excitement, the competition? Protect it. Don't lose the excitement of national competition. Don't jeopardize women's sports and Olympic sports. Make sure your favorite athletes continue to enjoy the many important benefits provided to them, and ensure that we preserve and standardize name, image, and likeness rights. Tell Congress to pass the SCORE Act at passthescoreact.com.
Is somebody here?
Never occurred to me this place could be so haunted.
Spirits,
I experienced disembodied voices.
Bigfoot sightings, UFOs.
I am now a believer.
X marks the spot.
That means this is gonna be a wild night. Do you smell that rotting, putrid flesh?
Expedition X. New investigations. Wednesdays at 9 on Discovery.
What do you get when you mix a banana, a firefighter, a tailgater, and baseball? You get Banana Ball on True TV.
That is beautiful banana ball.
This baseball game has taken the country by storm.
Over 65,000 fans on hand.
9 weeks of America's pastime with a twist.
Showtime.
We guarantee you've never seen anything like this. Banana Ball on True TV, presented by Tropical Smoothie Cafe.
Fifth game of the season for both these teams. You can see Oklahoma State on the road at Arizona with new leadership. And Mike, that comes into play because of the transfer portal window and the fact that you can play 4 games and not lose your year of eligibility. And there were some business decisions being made in Stillwater this week.
No doubt. It's a lot to process for everybody involved. All these players have to and now have the ability to make the best possible decision for themselves, but you see especially defensively how short-handed Oklahoma State is walking into today.
They did just get a 3-and-out, and now from empty, Flores able to hit the in-breaking route from Shamar Rigby, the sophomore from St. Petersburg, Florida. He's got at least 1 catch in every game this season. This one gains 4. Now some tempo. Rush picked up. Flores takes off across the logo and into Arizona territory to the 30 of the Cats. Got less than 100 yards rushing so far this season, but a 27-yard chunk here.
And just a great job being aware. Man coverage, backs turned to you on the back end on defense. We know Danny Gonzalez in Arizona love to strap it up and go man-to-man. And so Flores sees the opening, gets through, and takes off for a big game.
They start in the pistol. That's Rodney Fields Jr. to his left. Send it out to the perimeter, and a fine pass break up by Cole. Working against Terrell Davis. We've seen that twice now up against the left boundary.
We mentioned it before. Danny Gonzalez taking over that defense this year. They play a fast, aggressive, downhill style. Talked so much about the game last week against Iowa State and said it really came down to 6 plays for 189 yards. The bulk of the damage done in some big plays. They've got to do a better job limiting.
Second down. They'll move Flores' pocket all the way out to the numbers before he's hit and lives to see 3rd and 10. Now, Flores was splitting reps all camp, right? We mentioned Haas Haney, the TCU transfer, won the job. So he's kind of assembling this plane at 30,000 feet now in the middle of October.
Yeah, Doug Meacham said he's now getting the full-time reps in practice, getting those opportunities to develop that timing and rhythm. And you saw right there the wherewithal to live to fight another down, get that ball out of bounds, 2 straight games without a turnover so far, playing a cleaner brand of football.
Second possession for Oklahoma State. On the scramble from Flores, they've made it into Arizona territory. To the arm side again, running out of room and time. It's incomplete. Sticky coverage throughout the secondary. Aiden Garnes knocks it away from Royal Capel. And the field goal unit coming on for Oklahoma State.
We talked about great coverage on the other side for Oklahoma State. Here, just flooding the zone on that right side, designed rollout, plenty of bodies in the way, and a good job by Aiden Garnes there. Coming through, may have gotten there a little early, but I think the super slow-mo does it a bit of injustice. I thought that was good timing from a secondary that about 4 deep at corner they really trust.
Logan Ward, his long 49, this 47 to get the Pokes on the board. It's a good shot there, isn't it? Also mentioned that Shea Frybaum was one of those to go in the portal. He was the long snapper. So both teams dealing with some long snapper turmoil here. But Aiden Davenport, the redshirt senior from New Jersey, on the mark, leading to a 47-yard hit. Last night was Arizona basketball's Red Blue Showcase. Shaq was in the house. He put on a post-game show. Plenty of fun in the dunk contest. Addison Arnold's dunk over Gronkowski was a highlight. We'll point out that TNT is the newest home of Big 12 basketball this season. One of, if not the greatest leagues in college basketball. That begins in November. All right, down to Jared.
Yeah, I got the first man in history to ever be a slam dunk contest judge and go on to win that same slam dunk contest. Wildcat legend Rob Gronkowski. What was that like last night, that party with you and Shaq?
It was epic, man. Shaq was in the house as well. He DJ'd the after party of the red and blue game here. Coach Tommy Lloyd, he's such a fantastic guy. He's got all these kids on the right track. He's got the basketball program here at the University of Arizona, you know, going in the right path. He's top 10 team every single year. They're going to be top 10 again. And it was just so fun to be a part of it last night at the red and blue scrimmage. I was just a judge, and all of a sudden I'm jumping over a mini car, a Mini Cooper car with some kids in it, and I'm slam dunking. I won the dunk contest. And that just shows the atmosphere here that Tommy Lloyd's creating. And then on top of it, we're here at the football game as well, and this atmosphere is just as phenomenal.
I was actually worried you were going to jump over the kids. Thank goodness they took the kids out.
Yes, thankful they did take the kids out. You know, we didn't want anything bad to happen. I mean, but I was jumping. I was for sure, if I saw kids in the car, I was going to make sure I cleared them. But it's all right. Safety first, always.
We heard for a couple of days that you were going to be here, and we were hoping to talk to you. We were worrying that you were going to be out late with Shaq, and that you wouldn't be here at the game today. But I noticed you've got a drink. Is it keeping you? What do you got in that cup? And can I have some?
It's some Shaq/Gronk juice. It's a combination drink that we created last night here in my 40-ounce ice shaker that actually just dropped last week. This is my brother's company. He went here at the University of Arizona too. He was fullback, and yeah, he had a touchdown his very last game at the actually at the Las Vegas Bowl when Arizona went to their first bowl game in 10 years. So that was really cool. But it's just so fun what everyone's doing here, what this program's doing here at the University of Arizona. And it's not just, you know, it is about, you know, getting these kids and having a foundation for them, but it's all about having fun and enjoying the process, and that's what's really cool.
This is not Shark Tank, by the way. Stop trying to sell stuff.
Well, you wanted to ask what was in here, so I had to sell it as well because my brother dropped it last week. I'm sorry. Like, I love it. Like, I'm going all over the place. It gets to hide what's in here, too.
Hey, Arizona football, Mount Rushmore. Are you on it?
I would say so. I would say so.
You got other names?
Yeah, we got other names up there. Let's just look.
You're cheating.
At the Hall of Fame up there. I mean, I would say Antoine Kaysen, played with him when I was a freshman. You got to go with Teddy Bruschi. Come on now. Chuck Cecil, safeties coach here. Chuck Cecil is one of the hardest hitters, actually the hardest hitter to ever play in the NFL. And every time I high-five him, I back away because I'm like, dude, he's 60 years old. I'm like, dude, I can feel your power still. Like, he's special. Like, he's got it still. Like, that guy was.
It looks like he's still got that blood coming down from his helmet. From his forehead.
Yeah, he does. He does. And then who else we got up there?
Mount Rushmore's 4.
McAllister.
Mount Rushmore's 4. So are you off?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I'm off now. Take me off. Chris McAllister, he was a beast here. I would take me off here at the University of Arizona because I only played 2 years. I only played in 16 games. So if we're going by making an impact in a lot of games and playing for over 3 years here at least, I would take myself off, and then those would be the 4 guys.
They're telling me if you keep talking, they're going to have to pay you for being on. So we got to wrap things up.
You don't got to pay me. You know, I'm here. I'm here to talk, baby. This is fun. You guys are the best.
Rob, appreciate you. Thank you for joining us. Absolute legend here on campus, NFL legend. Rob Gronkowski, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me. Bear down. Go Wildcats.
JB.
Fafita against the blitz, able to find his mark again. We've seen catches from Chris Hudson and Nunu Watley during that conversation. It's Hudson again. And we'll point out that Rocky Gronkstone, the alter ego of Gronk, made an appearance in the second half of that game last night at McHale Center and was promptly and appropriately ejected. So all part of the weekend here in Tucson. Fafita at the controls, fading away from pressure. Nunu Watley, his pressure release valve across midfield into OK State territory. And Chuck Cecil reference there on that Mount Rushmore here in Tucson.
I've never seen someone on a Mount Rushmore and removed from a Mount Rushmore as quickly as Gronk did it to himself in that interview.
Yeah, life came at him fast there.
Humble, though. Yeah. I appreciate him being deferential to some of the other greats that came before him.
Third possession for Arizona, scored a touchdown on their first, went 3 and out after that. Luke Weissong able to move the chains here. One more basketball thought. It wasn't just Shaq on the 1s and 2s. Tommy Lloyd, a.k.a. DJ Tom E. I think on the post-game concert.
I think that was the most excited we saw Brent Brennan at the walkthrough on Friday. Was getting to talk about DJ Tommy E.
Little flea flicker here. Fafita off the mark. Weissong, his secondary target. Malik Charles in coverage.
I tell you what, this Oklahoma State secondary, we talked a lot about the parts that were missing. The parts that are on the field today, the players going out here and strapping it up, have done a phenomenal job covering down some of these big play opportunities. We saw a pump and go screen attempt earlier in this drive by Arizona that Fafita had to check down. You had the flea flicker there. They've been ready for the big play shots that Arizona's tried to throw at them so far.
Cats will put a tight end in motion for second down. Fafita feeling the heat. Able to roll to his arm side. And he'll take another chance on third down with a penalty marker right as he hit the sideline. Again, our referee, Luke Richmond. Wendell Gregory, a freshman outside backer, knocked Fafita off his spot.
Little foul, roughing the passer, defense, number 30. 15-yard penalty, automatic first
down. So instead of third and long, a free first down for Arizona.
Yeah, just unfortunate. Oklahoma State's defense bailing them out, and you see Fafita right here, well after the play, and really unintentional. And it appeared to be right there. Kind of a tough call, but a great opportunity to reset if you're Arizona on offense, because again, they have been struggling to get guys open so far. This is where I think you call the number of your quarterback's legs to try and buy up those eyes in the secondary again.
Fafita on the give, and that was nearly a house call. A touchdown saving tackle from Malik Charles. A gain of 5. Ismail Mahdi, the lead back now in Tucson. We've seen Quincy Craig as well. Kedrick Risino was available just in case last week and is a go today. So Arizona getting back to full strength on their depth chart. A good tackle at the line of scrimmage will bring up third down. Brian McCoy Jr. is going to put these pokes on his back this season.
The former 2-time All-MAC selection at Akron came over. He's one of the leaders on this team during all the change. Clint Bowen said, I can't get this guy to smile. He's always so serious, his approach to the job. He said, my goal is at some point during this game to get him to look up and smile. So if you see it at home, let Coach Bowen know about it.
Sam Olsen, the tight end, into the right slot. Cat set up 2-by-2 for Fafita. Looking for 4 yards on this third down wrap. Oh, that was hot to handle. How about the moves by Spivey? Stumbling back to pay dirt. 22 yards. Touchdown, Trey Spivey. Touchdown, Arizona. He's got both for the Cats in this opening frame.
I think that's backwards on the joystick if I have my EA College Football 25 controls down just right. What a phenomenal run after the catch play from Spivey, getting back into the end zone. You get down in the low red zone, and he can just smell that goal line, working overtime to get his team back on the board.
A sophomore from Chandler took an unbelievable leap in summer camp. He's a Big 12 transfer, so he's got experience, but finding his stride in the deserts. First drive from the 13. This one measures 22 yards.
See Spivey reaching out for the catch and then puts the foot in the ground. The Olay, sir, may I have this dance part 2? And then how about the ball security there? That's something that's going to fire up a coach in your next meeting, to have that wherewithal, even after all the athleticism, to get 2 hands on the ball, get safely across the goal line, and hit him with something special. I don't know what the dance is. I'm out of touch with the kids, but it looked good.
It's a 6'4" frame slamming on the brakes with some shake. The son of Junior Spivey. Speaking of baseball playoffs, an all-star second baseman, won the 21 series with the Diamondbacks. Now the next generation starring on the gridiron.
And we know Spivey, both touchdowns so far today. But Noah Fafita, completions to 5 different receivers right now. Last week, his first 8 completions were all to 8 different receivers. So this is an offense that, when it's humming, can spread the love to a lot of different targets.
A double-digit touchdown passes now for Fafita with his 9th and 10th today. Ian Wagner, the kickoff specialist. My goodness. Woo! Off the ribbon board. Not nearly as impressive as the touchdown, though, with all due respect.
With all due respect, the initial grab right here, I mean, that was a fingertip catch to start, coming in the slot. But you mentioned at that height to have that kind of dexterity, stop-and-go ability. Really special stuff, and to go along with the ground game that they keep being able to lean on. Every time the passing game stymies, you go back to that unnecessary roughness, that late hit on Noah Fafita that kept that drive alive. Those are the kinds of mistakes you can't afford at this juncture if you're Oklahoma State.
New quarterback behind center. It's Sam Jackson, a receiver who's got plenty of reps at a high level, too. Nearly threw a pick. Cam Abshire, how did he hang on?
Whew. Risky business right there, but more tempo. Not going to let one incompletion slow him down.
The first 3 games, Jackson only had 3 touches. Last week, he had 3 completions. By the way, Cam Abshire is a first-year poke after 3 seasons at the D2 level. He played for Emory and Henry in Virginia. You got a mascot for me on Emory and Henry by any chance? They're the Wasps.
I don't, but I've got offensive linemen out on the perimeter blocking and springing a big play. You saw some confusion over on the Arizona defense, as on both sides of the ball, you're going to look. One offensive lineman out this way, one out this way. You got lead blockers to choose from, good numbers on the left, and a good decision by your wide receiver, former quarterback.
Freeman the catch and run. Seen a little bit of everything mixed in with this deep first quarter drive. And look, when we talked with Meacham, he said, if we like a play enough on Monday to put it on our play sheet, why not use it Saturday?
Talking to this staff, it was a refreshing approach in the midst of all this tumult to say, hey, it's our job to keep these guys together and having fun. The word fun got mentioned a lot more than you would think for a team in this position.
Yeah, almost as much as hydration today in Tucson. Their focus as we go to the second with some momentum back in their corner. 2 touchdown drives from Fafita and Arizona.
Time college football is first hire here.
Second down, first rep of the second quarter. Sam Jackson to the perimeter and knocked out at midfield. A late flag, and I think I may have seen a face mask there. It was Max Harris in pursuit. Golick will pick up that thought again because it's an important one with respect to Oklahoma State and the Big 12, and really, I think, college football at large. Yeah, there it is.
Oh, yeah, good solid yank right there. Not sure what the discussion is. Obviously, he had the stiff arm there. I know a lot of defenders sometimes complain that offensive players get away with similar action.
Personal foul, face mask, defense, number 4, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
But back to Gundy and the change. I mean, he was instrumental in my college football upbringing, and I think the loss of his character, his personality, as much as his guidance, leaves a void.
No question. This is a sport that is built off characters, that for so long was built off coaches as these figures. And for Mike Gundy, who at the time that he was let go, the second longest tenured coach in college football, you just wonder how many more we'll get to see like that, knowing all the changes the sport's endured.
This has been Sam Jackson's drive. Tried to drop that arm angle and had it rejected by the captain, Trey Smith. Now, Meacham's got a connection. You described it. He's got a personality of his own. My only objection is that he's such a good stick. Like, it's not cool that you finally get a head coaching opportunity for the first time in your career, and you go out and hit a bucket before hosting Baylor.
Was very quick to point out to us, 4 handicap. Great for a former offensive lineman. I've never heard of a former college offensive lineman being able to swing it that well.
Look at this second level blitz, and the Cats get hands on it again. Dalton Johnson part of that wave. Back-to-back pass breakups, leaving third down.
Dalton Johnson, a part of a really special safety group, and this is what we're used to with Danny Gonzalez on defense. They want to get guys downhill, going at the quarterback, and they lean on that versatile secondary. Genesis Smith, one of the most versatile players we've seen in this conference on the back end of that defense. Trayden Stukes back now playing well for them, and Dalton Johnson comprise a safety group that gives them a lot of options with how they want to deploy personnel, especially on these money downs.
You see Zane Flores in to take third down with his tailback in motion. 4 to his right. That's where he's looking. Able to dodge that backside pressure. That is well shy of the sticks. And Terrell Davis with the catch. And decision time for Oklahoma State.
And you can see over on the left, pressure coming off that left side, that dip around the corner. And it looked like he was going for the strip on that play instead of the sack. Went for the swipe, which, listen, in this day and age with the roughing the quarterback calls that get called, that's something you see high-level rushers in the NFL do. Attack and tie and strip. Just poor timing there leads to Flores still being able to get the pass off.
As you see, Logan Ward already connected from 47. This will be a yard deeper. 8 for 8 so far this season. And there is his first miss. A senior from Edmond, Oklahoma. Can't connect, and Brennan fired up. Back on offense with a 14-3 lead.
Fanapt allopurinol is approved for adults with bipolar 1 disorder with acute, mixed, or manic episodes. Unlike some drugs for bipolar 1 disorder, nausea, vomiting, and restlessness are not common with Fanapt. Fanapt may be associated with serious side effects. Elderly patients with dementia-related psychosis treated with antipsychotics are at increased risk of stroke or death. Fanapt is not approved for elderly with dementia-related psychosis. Fanapt prolongs the QT interval and may be associated with abnormal heart rhythm or sudden death. In 5% or more of people in clinical trials, heart rate increases, dizziness, hypotension, weight gain, dry mouth, stuffy nose, sleepiness, and increases in liver enzymes have been observed. These are not all the side effects. Talk to your prescriber and learn more at fanapt.com. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Confession's not for God's sake. If you want to be forgiven, all you have to do is ask. Everything happens for a reason. I'm gonna make reason.
At the end of the day, like, you gotta love this game to go out here and continue to be your best.
I will still get the job done.
Is that ring not right here fitted?
You're invited to cheer on your favorite Big 12 teams with officially licensed fan gear. For the best selection of team apparel and accessories, head to shopncaasports.com today. Welcome back to Tucson, everyone. Arizona with a 14-3 lead on the strength of 2 touchdown receptions from Trey Spivey.
Yeah, 2 very similar plays down near the red zone, getting him that ball in that hook area, and both times great run after catch. The second touchdown, plenty of dexterity on display. It's been a good mix for Arizona so far. The rushing attack has been alive with Maudie early, and this passing attack has spread it around to 5 different receivers so far.
Fafita 10 of 13 through the air, 87 yards passing. Risano is his tailback as Wysong goes in motion. I'm reminded of something that Daggy told us yesterday, Mike, which is this roster isn't the same for Arizona if Noah doesn't come back for 2025. And I think Spivey's a good example of someone they attracted to this offense, to this passing game because of QB1.
Yeah, I think you're seeing that a lot now in the portal era, where especially skill players, you play a dependent position. And so many of these guys, the quarterbacks end up becoming your primary recruiter in that phase as well, because they're going to be such an integral part of that.
An officiating stoppage before 2nd down and 9.
This is timeout for an injury.
It's an injury on the offensive line for Arizona. Chuba Ma'ai hobbling off, which is relevant in part because Ty Buchanan has already been replaced by Rhino Tepatotai, who's been battling for the right tackle spot, has had to step in at left tackle. See if the post can take advantage. Protection is there. A whistling fastball out to Wysong, who makes the first Cowboy miss, and he's up to the 50. 17 on the strike from Fafita, and the run after catch by Luke.
All these wide receivers stepping up today. New offensive line in there. So what do you want to do? Get the ball out quickly to your wide receivers. Give an opportunity to make a run after the catch play. Kenneth Harris has done a good job in the secondary. Just couldn't quite stay with the shifty Wysong.
Oklahoma State just missed a long field goal. Arizona looking to tack on to their lead in this second. Jet sweep. Chris Hudson able to hit the edge. And swipe through a would-be tackle and is thrown out of bounds with a new first down in Oklahoma State territory. Asuana missed the first tackle, and that led to a 15-yard gain.
You got him coming across the field right here. Just see the stutter on the outside. Stops the feet of Isawunu. What a great play.
And McDaniel hanging on for that tackle. Deep drop here. Top shelf Fafita to the end zone. Incomplete. And Chris Hudson had 6 catches last week in Ames, the most by an Arizona player this season. He's only appeared in a couple of games today. His 3rd, the senior from Compton, California. And I think that injury disruption probably kept Fafita from being even more prolific in the first month of the season. You felt some of that, maybe not being in lockstep with his receiving group last week. In fact, a couple of receivers came to Daggy and said, we're sorry. Like Hudson and Wysong came to his office and said, we weren't good enough for Noah Fafita last week on the road in the Big 12. They're pretty sharp here so far. They caved down that right side and paved the way for Maudie to run for 7.
I think that's a great point, JB. We heard Seth Daggy, the offensive coordinator, when asked about some of the turnovers from his quarterback. He said, listen, that first interception, our wide receiver who's coming around in motion stops and doesn't go full speed in what he's supposed to do and hold the defender, that all of a sudden shows up in the picture. It's a whole living, breathing organism, and if everyone's not dialed into their details, that's when the mistakes start to happen for this team. And so that accountability from the coaches on down to the players, huge for this program's continued development.
Saw Jordan Brown popping in there as a replacement left guard. That one was trailing smoke, and Watley could not bring it in. So 4th down and 3 in plus territory. And we've already seen Brennan go for it once, but he's sending his kicking operation on.
A good opportunity. We talked about some of the long snapping issues, the issues with kicking last week. You got it dead center here, a good chance to get some confidence going and back into that kicking game, as you've also got 4th and maybe a little longer than you're comfortable with.
Salgado Medina, you see his numbers so far this season. This will be 46 yards. He's only 2 for 6 beyond 40 yards. Let's see if he and the operation can take the next step. Not this time. Yanked left the whole way, and so both teams leave 3 on the field in this second quarter. Timeout us. A work in progress, the kicking operation here in Tucson.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I reward full-time fans. Check out this recruit. The ultimate tailgater doesn't just show up, she shows out. This full-time fan deserves a Modelo.
I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds on my car insurance. Unfortunately, I didn't check if doing the Georgia bark at my boss would be appropriate. Go, dogs!
Yeah. So we need to...
Sick 'em.
And it's not. Checking Allstate first was smart. Barking at my boss, dumb. At least I checked Allstate first and saved hundreds.
Hey, Bark Boy.
These guys are crazy.
At the University of Arizona, we believe everyone is born with wonder. That thing that says, I will not accept this world that is, while it drives us to create what could be. That world can't wait to see what you'll do. Where your wonder will take you, and what it will make you.
How are you, Bobby? Never better. I created Triple Threat as the ultimate test. The best of the best come through that door to take on my world-class chefs. I mean, look at these guys. Okay. Looking fierce. And if somehow you can beat these Titans, I have a big bag of cash and a membership to my club. You better shake them up strong. It's about to go down. Who's ready for Triple Threat?
All new Bobby's Triple Threat, Tuesday night at 8. See it first on Food Network. Stream next day on HBO Max.
Hockey is back.
Back to work, guys. Let's have a start. Here we go, boys.
Oh, you think I'm scared? Let's go!
Star-studded. You better be ready.
Everybody's back.
There's a lot of personalities on that panel. I'm just fire base.
I'm gonna key your card, buddy.
We're Let's go! Stars!
Unbelievable. Oh, we are ready to go.
Boys, this should be great.
After a missed Arizona field goal, Oklahoma State takes over with 11:08 to go before the half. You look at their numbers last week against Baylor when they had some juice after the coaching change to what they put up today. Mike, is this to be totally cliche? One of those moments where the longer you let a team like OSU hang around, the more dangerous they become?
No question, and I'm sure that's been the message from Brent Brennan all week long to this Arizona team. You don't want to give them life, and right now, credit to Oklahoma State, they've had plenty of it on both sides of the ball.
Zane Flores hands off. Rodney Fields Jr. rumbling over the right side. Some contact to finish, a gain of 10.
Take a look right here. Good counter action coming over this way. You get a great seal on that right edge. Both pullers, one kicks out, one gets up to the second level. And then all of a sudden, Fields with some juice, able to make a man miss.
Nice wrap up in the backfield here as Arizona gets a tackle for loss. Chase Kennedy and really everyone on defense have combined to be one of the most disruptive defenses in the league, getting tackles behind the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, 9th in college football in terms of tackles for loss on this season. They get behind the lines of scrimmage. They force takeaways on the back end. They're disruptive. You hear havoc rate all the time. This team, one of the best in the business.
Second down and long. Fading away from trouble. He dirts it. Even that, I think, a sign of growth from Flores, right? There was something on there. Not sure what the design was in the end because Arizona blew it up. But just get to third down without the costly mistake.
No question. And you're going to see, I believe it's 44th on the left side here. Malachi Bailey does a good job of sitting and staying home on the screen. Leads the team with 4 quarterback hurries, but the wherewithal there to say, hey, I'm getting there a little too fast. Something's up. He sniffs out the screen and forces the 3rd and long here.
Danny Gonzalez's defense trying to rise to the occasion, cover up a missed field goal, and protect this 14-3 lead. Flores swings it out to Fields. Able to get through first contact, but Arizona rallies. Chase Kennedy gets the tackle, and the Pokes go 3 and out.
So this offense, maybe not with the same burst right away. We mentioned the first quarter number last week, but over 350 yards in the first half last week for Oklahoma State. They're most in a half since 2021. Today, this defense, while it's had its hands full down in the red zone, aided by a couple of penalties, I thought it's acquitted themselves pretty well. The offense got to play a little catch-up now.
Paul's punt is in the air. Wow, that is at altitude. Wysong looking up into the afternoon sky, secures it with a fair catch. For more on Fafita and this next drive, let's go down to Jared.
Well, JB, there's been a lot of talk in and around of Tucson about Noah Fafita's inconsistency lately. When we talked to the coaching staff about it earlier this week, they said, listen, you got to put this in perspective. This is a young man who's dealing with his third offense and third offensive coordinator in 3 years, and he's handling it with absolute grace. Seth Doege, the offensive coordinator, referred to Noah Fafita as the best ambassador Arizona football has. Guys, think about what he's done with all the different receivers and all the different personnel he's had. He brings all of his skill players in on Thursday nights, goes over signals, over potential hiccups that they could deal with, and they believe he is the absolute perfect leader for this team. They'd love to see him, though, around 65% passing efficiency.
All right, he's only missed 5 throws so far and has 2 touchdowns in this opening half. Looking to build on a 14-3 advantage. Plenty patient with his running game as Mahdi gets buried behind a retooled offensive line. Already had their left tackle and left guard miss time. Covering his ear holes there to get the coach-to-player communication.
It's a great point by Jared, though. I had 4 offensive line coaches in 5 years. You're constantly relearning the little elements of technique each coach wants, what each scheme demands, and do that at quarterback. No easy task. As we see him using the double cadence, sending a signal to his receivers.
He's got trips into that boundary. Back to pass. Spins one to the 35. Complete to Hudson. Chris Hudson from Noah Fafita for an Arizona first down. Parker Robertson collects the tackle in the OK State secondary.
Good job. You're going to see the clear out on the inside here. And then that route come in from right to left, and Fafita does a good job, sends that signal, understands he's getting pressure, and knows right where to put it.
They run it through the right side, and the Pokes hit it hard. That's a good run stuff on an early down for a group that's depleted up front, both due to injury and the transfer portal. Sitiveni Havili Kafusi, who I know going back to his time at UCLA is going to be asked to do a lot here in the middle of this season.
Yep, he and Aiden Kelly having to step up with some of the bodies lost up front on this defensive line, and so far, so good.
Only a gain of 1 on the ground. Fafita ready for second down. Pokes rush 3, drop 8. Another vertical shot here with a flag down as Fafita comes up empty. Raymond Gay II was in coverage, and we highlight him not just because of the foul, but because he's been a special teams ace and was reportedly the MVP of the midweek practice to earn some reps today.
Holding, defense, number 27. First down.
Probably not the way he wanted to hear his name called, but Arizona going to continue to try and take their shots downfield for this reason. And you see right here the hand fighting going along the way. And it was earlier in the play where he got a little grabby. I thought clearly got a hand grabbing too much jersey early on in that rep. And a good call on the back end trying to stress this defense.
Clint Bowen told us he wants to go deeper on this depth chart by necessity, but also by design. Not just because of the heat, because certain players have earned it. They swallow up another run here. Fafita on the keeper had nowhere to go. But Bowen's point was so much of college football has become me, me, me. There's not enough we and us right now at Oklahoma State, and he's trying to instill more of that here in the midseason.
Yeah, it seems like a simple thing, but that energy is infectious. Getting up and celebrating everyone's wins at a time where wins have been hard to come by as a program. And so, again, I've been really impressed by this staff's ability to keep the main thing, and keep these players together.
Fafita will take second down and 13 from empty. Set up the receiver screen, gets a nice initial kick out block, but again, the Pokes rally to the ball, led by Wendell Gregory. They limit the gain to only 3 at the 7-minute mark, second quarter. Landon Cleveland there, the sophomore from Dallas. Another one of those Pokes who will be asked a lot of here with numbers down.
You see Arizona trying to get up to the line now, take advantage of some confusion mid-substitution on a big 3rd and 10.
The Cowboys creeping, now they cool off. Quincy Craig in the backfield. to help out Fafita with protection. Here they come. Hot off his blind side. Dodging traffic. How did Fafita get away? Now flings it. Alone in the middle. Caught. And this could go the distance. Unbelievable. Luke Weissong, 47 yards from Fafita the Magician.
I don't know how he got himself out of this straitjacket. What an impressive play. They laud the leadership, but how about the scootability from your quarterback? All-out blitz, tries to roll out of it here, and a great job by the second wave of that rush for Oklahoma State. But just too much. Fafita puts his foot in the ground and still keeping his eyes downfield. That, to me, JB, the biggest difference for a veteran player. Amidst all that chaos, to be able to keep his eyes focused on his receivers downfield.
It goes as Luke Weissong's first touchdown as a Wildcat, though not his first in this stadium. As we know, 21-3, the new score.
Sometimes when it's not working, you got to call your own number, and number one's been a good one to call so far this afternoon for Arizona.
I'm being told this is Limu Emu from Liberty Mutual, who helps save you hundreds by customizing your car insurance.
And his partner, Doug, is the gentleman under the security guard.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Diagnosis doesn't define you. Even ATTR cardiac amyloidosis. You've come a long way. Your path was never set in stone. You charged ahead. So why would life with ATTR-CM define you? You have the power of choice. Attruby is an oral medicine used to treat adults with ATTR-CM to reduce death and hospitalization related to heart problems. People taking Attruby saw an impact on health-related quality of life and were 50% less likely to be hospitalized for heart issues, giving you more chances to do what you love with who you love. Tell your doctor if you're pregnant, plan to become pregnant, or are breastfeeding, and about the medications you take. The most common side effects were mild and included diarrhea and abdominal pain. If you have ATTR cardiac amyloidosis, ask your cardiologist if Attruby is right for you. It's time to get busy living.
Nobody likes a cracked windshield.
What was that?
No.
But you can go to SafeLight.com and get it fixed now and pay later.
Awesome.
SafeLight can come to you for free. Don't wait. Get it fixed now and pay later at SafeLight.com.
SafeLight repair, SafeLight replace.
Michelob Ultra Zero. Zero alcohol, ultra smooth taste, just 29 calories.
Hey, let's get out there.
Stay in the game with Michelob Ultra Zero.
The NHL on TNT takes the show on the road for opening night.
You better be ready.
Here we go, Las Vegas. What a place to kick it off. Can't wait to get the season going.
Bruins Capitals Kings Golden Knights. Wednesday at 6 on TNT.
Tonight, Kevin Knight goes one-on-one with a member of FTR. Plus, Eddie Kingston faces LFI's Dralistico.
I'll see you at Collision, dog.
AEW Collision at a special time. Tonight at 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific on TNT and now streaming on HBO Max.
One battle after another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio. Now only in theaters, rated R. Back in Tucson, Arizona now on top, 21-3. Wagner ready to boot it away again. Two deep men, Gavin Freeman, Sam Jackson for the Cowboys. They will not get a chance, but we will get another look at the touchdown. And while the first two, Mike, were about Trace Spivey, this one was about the quarterback.
Great individual efforts across the board. All-out pressure from Oklahoma State. The quarterback knows with this many coming, I'm going to have a free defender to account for. He ends up with multiple in his face and still has the wherewithal to keep those eyes downfield. And a great job staying active by Weissong, a veteran player, transfer coming over, understands I got to stay alive and present numbers for my quarterback when he's dealing with that fire drill in the backfield.
Sandstorm unis look good in the light of day, don't they?
Really nice.
They're sharp. Orange and black back to work with a flea flicker. Zane Flores has to take off and run. And credit the back end coverage. Obviously, they're on high alert given what the Pokes put down on tape last week. Chase Kennedy grabs the tackle and limits the gain to 4.
I'd imagine the first slide up on the team meeting for defense and Danny Gonzalez's group was alert trick plays early and often. We've already seen Sam Jackson, the wide receiver at quarterback. Plenty of trickeration still on the way, I'm sure.
You saw the Q play card. That means 2 quarterbacks on the field, including the man that you just mentioned. And Trent Howland is a change of pace at tailback, whereas Rodney Fields Jr. is 195. Trent's all at 250.
And looks at change of pace. If you're the defense, you got to make sure you see the scouting report. We see the Q right there.
Now, wait a second. There was a hand-drawn card.
Oh, wow.
That was really lacking. Okay, the penmanship was not great. We saw
character.
And we were promised that that was going to remain on the sideline today. That one looks laminated. Look out here. Howland flung for a huge loss. We know he can spin it, but so do Dalton Johnson and the Cats.
No fooling this secondary. Johnson creeping down here. You can run it. You see you've got a tackle over right here. So you're on high alert. They're trying to get an extra body to that side for protection. But give credit to Johnson. Sniffs it out right away. Understands that, hey, Howland might not mean there's another quarterback on the field, but you got to be alert for plenty of different people trying to put the football in the air today.
Paul to punt again. Wysong, who just scored a touchdown, says get away. That's kicked by Oklahoma State, so it's a free return opportunity, and Luke plans to make the most of it. All the way back into Oklahoma State territory.
Great play by Wysong, just to limit some yards there, as that ball, it looked like bounced off an Oklahoma State player. Coming on the rush, you're going to see come in right here. It checks up in front of him, and so he just scoops this and makes a play. And again, there was no wave for a fair catch. He was pointing that out to the rest of the guys on his side, telling them to get away, be alert for a ball in their area, but makes a great heads-up veteran play to not only steal some yards that could have been lost if that dribbles back, but to actually get them a first down or so on that return.
Fafita back on offense, but Mike, at some point we got to talk about this Arizona defense and the improvements that they've made as they have limited Oklahoma State to only a field goal so far in this opening half. Mahdi circling out of the backfield as Fafita rolls away from pressure, poised and able to find a tight end below the 40. It's a banged up tight end room, but Kean Burnett, who was not healthy when we were here for week 1 against Hawaii, is good to go again today.
Just another versatile weapon in this offense that's got plenty of them, but I want to see them get back to the ground game here. Now, second down, good yardage, just inside the 40. Great opportunity to take a shot at the end zone, having this much runway still left.
Fafita thinking right along those lines. That's tall, that's picked, intercepted by the Cowboys at the 20. And how about the return all the way back into Arizona territory? The captain, Parker Robertson, 33 yards on the return, and another win for Clint Bowen.
Parker Robertson stepping up as a leader for this team, the former walk-on, making a big-time play. As Arizona did try to take that shot downfield, you can run it. Play action pass, good protection, and extra blitzer there at the end, and just sinking back into coverage.
How can they capitalize with some points before the half? I was thinking about Parker this morning, how he must feel like that, that Fresh Prince of Bel-Air meme where he's looking around his position room like, where did everybody go? What a moment for him to step up and get a takeaway in a big spot here on the road in Big 12 country.
Yeah, to be one of those guys that's here sticking it out and to step up and make plays like that for your team. Just incredible leadership.
Arizona creeping on both edges, showing blitz. Nothing doing on the give to Trent Howland. U of A throws it back. It's third down at the 3-minute mark. Tia Savea and others with a run stuff. Deshaun McKnight's had a good season. He's been one of those disruptors. He's got a tackle for loss in every game so far. And timeout Doug Meacham, he knows how critical this is. Defense just gave him an extra possession. Trying to find the end zone for the first time, but is in 3rd and long.
Not a place you want to be. against this Arizona defense. You just saw on that last play, getting back behind the line of scrimmage, 8 tackles for loss they average per game coming into this one. And you talked about it, Danny Gonzalez and the tone he set for this defense. They're fearless. Again, Iowa State, they point back to 6 plays for 189 yards. Aside from that, you held them to under 3 yards a carry. You were able to do a lot of the things that you usually do, but the trust that he has in the back end of this defense, I think makes that all possible. The cornerback room that they love, the safeties and Stukes, Genesis Smith, and Dalton Johnson, I think give you that confidence to say we can play more man coverage, we can put our guys on an island, and we can help supplement that pass rush up front with some of those extra linebackers, with some of those safeties involved as plus blitzers, to try and manufacture even more chaos behind the line of scrimmage.
Now, this week may not be as much of a stress test as last week or next week against BYU, but nonetheless, right now on paper, it's a consensus. Top 30 defense here in Tucson. Flores on 3rd and long. That was a confident stroke. Davis brings it in and keeps the drive alive. Flores with conviction to move the sticks. 22 yards.
The confidence in those reps paying off. And you see, the first drive of the game couldn't quite link up with Davis, and that time making a strong grab at the point of attack.
And now working quickly, hits his back foot and airmails it to the pylon. No flags down. And Terrell Davis again his target. He led the NCAA last year with over 1,600 receiving yards at Central Oklahoma. It's a D2 program. Got the mascot for me there by any chance?
Ooh, Central Oklahoma.
It's Broncos, but spelled with a CH. The 1922 spelling.
I remember, fine year.
Now with the pokes. And looking to get in the end zone for the first time in Tucson. Off the play flick. Flores hammered as he crosses the 20. Able to hang on to the football. Leroy Pollard at 300 pounds working inside out to the sideline.
As we see Flores coming off right now. Going to get Sam Jackson reps back here. So now's the defense. You've got to be alert. New personnel that queue up over on the sideline. But only one quarterback on the field as Flores now over on the sideline. And we saw early in this game, they're content to let Sam Jackson go out there and play quarterback as we get down to the 2-minute timeout.
3rd and 5 and the red zone awaits as we head to that 2-minute timeout presented by the Wells Fargo Active Cash Card.
Being a champion means knowing when to work and when to reward myself.
Strawberry mango.
This is amazing. And with my Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Really? You call this a workout?
I'm just taking a little break. Then I'll get back after it.
I'm messing with you. Actually, that looks really good.
Make it 2. With the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Terms apply.
Crypto. Take me home.
The happier the home. If you're buying or refinancing a home, match with a local mortgage expert first. You'll get experienced guidance, a quick, easy closing, and an average savings of more than $10,000 with an independent mortgage broker. Go to mortgagematchup.com to find a home loan expert near you. Mortgage Matchup. Savings that'll make you smile.
This is Buick, now. Buick, exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR on these 2025 Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
Where's the beer guy?
Bud Light here.
Bud Light here.
Bud Light here.
Bud Light where?
Bud Light here. I missed that because of you.
Hey, got your Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
This 2-minute timeout was brought to you by the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo. Earn unlimited 2% rewards on purchases. Terms apply. Mike Golick Jr., you notice anything on Fafita's third interception of the year?
Well, yeah, you're going to watch Trey Spivey come across in motion and getting open going up the field. Looked like he could have had his third touchdown of the day. The late pressure here in the face of Fafita, you wonder how much that affected him, because he cuts it loose to a spot sort of in between his two wide receivers that's now set up this drive for Oklahoma State.
Zane Flores looking for his first passing touchdown as a poke. Gets a big block. Not sure it was legal, and the throw is out of bounds. 2 penalty markers down, a second one in the secondary. It was Quentin Stewart who absolutely decleated in the backfield.
That illegal blindside block can't come perpendicular out of the peripheral vision of the player on offense. You'll see him coming from the side over here.
Personal foul, illegal blindside block, offense, number 82, 15-yard penalty, third down.
He leveled Trey Smith there, Mike.
And that was a play used to be glorified in the sport, and understandably, given the sensitivity and awareness of head injuries and all the different injury concerns, you want guys to be able to see, or at least have an opportunity to defend themselves when they're getting hit. So coming from out of the field of vision, back even with the line of scrimmage, going to be a no-no there. And now sets up 3rd and a mile for a passing attack that, as we mentioned, has had some struggles.
That second marker down was either picked up or it was for the same infraction, because the only penalty announced is the only one enforced. 3rd down and 20 now, below the 2-minute mark. Flores hits his back foot. Able to hit the crosser as well. Gavin Freeman dropped at the 30. Only 2 yards on that pickup. And here comes the field goal unit, I believe. Yeah, Logan Ward is on the field.
Don't blame him. That penalty backs you up out of 4th and go range that you may have been in before. Try and get some points off this turnover. Pay off your defense with some complimentary football.
Almost an identical spot to the one he missed right. This will be 46 yards. The double up Oklahoma State score. Good operation, and the boot is good. Meacham settles for 3. The new score, 21-6. Well, so strange to see Oklahoma State football without Mike Gundy. Take a look at some of the resume bullet points. They've got 35 years of history together, and on behalf of OSU fans, I'm sure they would like us to point out that he goes out with Bedlam bragging rights.
The rivalries that make college football great should always be near and dear to our hearts, certainly here. And there's never an easy dismount at times. So many people in sports, so few I should say, get the chance to go out on their own terms. Even all-time greats and people that have meant as much to one place as Mike Gundy meant as a player and as a coach, creating so much of the success that we saw for years for Oklahoma State. Since 2010, 8 10-win season, tied for 9th best in college football over that span. They were one of the most consistent forces in the sport. Appeared 2 of the last 4 Big 12 championships. As recently as a couple of years ago, this looked like a program that could be one of those as Texas and Oklahoma left the Big 12 to really absorb some of that space. And now trying to find their next identity going forward.
Ward sends it away. Mahdi with an early fair catch signal. He takes it on the goal line. 2 timeouts and 65 seconds left for Noah Fafita and the offense.
Always an interesting measuring stick, I think, for how much you want to put in your quarterback, how much you trust him to go out here. A lot of teams you'll see start off conservative, see if you can pop a run, and if you get a big chunk gain, if you get a first down off that first run, now you'll see them go out there, have a second play ready, get up to the line, and begin your 2-minute drill in earnest. But I think with a veteran quarterback like Noah Fafita, I want to see them right away, let him go out there and try and operate this, having timeouts and having the ability to go and spread this ball around with so many great weapons.
His left side of this offensive line, both injury replacement, so something to monitor here as they go on this 1-minute drill. Fafita spits it out. Nunu Watley with the drive starter and tackled by his shoelaces at the 33. Picks up 7. Raymond Gay the second with the tackle.
And you see that tempo right away. So Fafita's got that next play loaded up, ready to go.
From a 2x2 set. Resets his launch point. Long throw to the sideline, and he moves the chains. Quincy Craig, who's incredibly strong, but also has a receiving background, makes himself available. Stop clock, 38 seconds.
Yeah, 8 receiving touchdowns in 17 games over the last 2 years when he was at Portland State. And you're right, under 2 minutes now, stops the clock going out of bounds. Plenty of time as Arizona nears midfield. Maybe get themselves in range for a kick.
Not many slot receivers I know squat 500, but he's one of them now, playing running back here in Tucson. Fafita with the bobble, now in trouble. That's a catch. Another move inside by Quincy Craig. How did he pluck that one off the turf? Got Fafita out of a jam. 15 more yards and 28 seconds to go.
Strong, great bend, able to make a man miss and almost teleport around him and get back out of bounds. Stop the clock with 28 left.
Both timeouts still in Brennan's pocket. Here's a stoppage and a timeout on defense. 1 of 2 remaining for Doug Meacham.
Charge timeout. Oklahoma State.
And get a look at Bowen there. Game management, one of the biggest week-to-week areas of growth for this interim head coach. He talked quite candidly about the fact that they got to a 4th down last week against Baylor, and he forgot that that was his call to make.
Expressed a lot of respect for some of the head coach coordinators out there. A guy like Lincoln Riley that he talked about at USC, who for years has been the primary play caller, but also involved in that decision making. And obviously that's something he's done on a regular basis. Things have changed rapidly for Meacham here, but just week over week, one of the areas that he believes he can improve on better, delegating more on offense so that he's able to make some of those bigger picture decisions that are now required of him for the home stretch of the season while he does take over those head coach responsibilities.
Now they're able to get a field goal out of a takeaway on defense. The pick led to a field goal, but now Arizona State has time to answer before the break. The visitors won the opening coin toss, elected to defer, so Meacham knows that he's going to get it first when we come back for the 3rd quarter. Fafita's got touchdowns measuring 13, 22, and 47 yards, but he does have his 3rd interception in the last 2 weeks here today. Reagan his sidecar as he takes his shotgun snap, working the sideline again. Cameron Barmore, a former receiver at the FCS level, has added some 30 pounds to level up as a tight end now in the Big 12.
Continuing to paint the sidelines, and Fafita take what the defense gives him. That time they show blitz up at the line, they drop out and only rush 3. Calmly sits back and dissects.
It cost him 4 seconds, managing this last minute well. Fafita, as he's hit to the end zone, overcooked it for Watley. And that's hard to do. One of the fastest players on the roster.
Had exactly what they wanted, used the dig underneath to buy up the safety so you'd get a free shot at Watley, but the pressure from Oklahoma State up front, something we've seen. Been able to make Noah Fafita uncomfortable. Now we've seen under pressure, he's made incredible plays like that long touchdown to Wysom, but we've also seen him cut it loose and give the ball to the other team.
They certainly have the timeouts to work the middle of the field. Let's see if they're more interested in a new set of downs on 3rd down and 5. They are. Big hit, but the catch secured. 1st down Wildcats. They'll take their 2nd timeout here with 11 seconds remaining. Chris Hunter went airborne at 6'1". Landon Cleveland delivered the hit. Hunter's been dented a few times today. One lower body injury, and now this one to the rib area.
Yeah, saw him walking off to the sideline gingerly. Going to go get some shade, maybe get looked at by the training staff there. Just one of those plays, you know you're going to take the shot, you brace for it as best you can. You see right here, Fafita sits him down. That ball drifts inside a little bit, so now you're sitting there preparing for the hit. You got to reach up for the football, and that leaves you open. Good job hanging on to the football. Helmet almost hit right on the ball. A lot of times we can see that get put on the mat. Maybe an incompletion, but he hangs on to move the chains for this team, even though it's clearly cost him a little bit of comfort right now on the sideline.
Mike, you've highlighted this well for us today, but look at all the weapons Fafita and Degi are using today. All 5 eligibles have to be accounted for and respected by this Oklahoma State defense. Ricino, the new tailback, 11 seconds, 1 timeout left. A fresh set of downs for Fafita in that fringe long field goal area. Pocket caving in. This one is caught at the 20. Luke Weissong having his best day as a Cat. Now easily into field goal range with 4 seconds remaining. It's a 20-yard hookup as Fafita finds him late in the progression.
Arizona, this is their final timeout of the first half. It'll be a full timeout.
You'll see Weissong again, the outlet for Fafita under pressure. Middle of 3, just sits down, plenty of space, comes back to the football and gets upfield to get what he can. Made plays for them all day. We talked about the job he did stealing yards on a punt return earlier. Got great spatial awareness and an understanding of where he can buy an extra couple of yards to try and make sure my kicker does have the best opportunity to get us some easy points here going into the halftime locker room.
Either the ball or Fafita's hand must have been deflected there, because he throws one of the prettiest spirals in college football, and that one was wobbling and running out of gas as it arrived at Weissong. But it's a completion that could be worth 3 points.
Fafita, I'm sure, used to plenty of blitz looks from training camp going up against this Danny Gonzalez defense all the time. Their own unit that they see every day in practice applies plenty of pressure. And Oklahoma State this first half not been afraid to let it rip either.
He's got 3 passing touchdowns in this opening half. Michael Salgado Medina from 34 to close it out and send his Wildcats to halftime with a 24-6 lead. A lot of good from Arizona, looking to bounce back from their first defeat of the season here on their home turf.
Certainly the one blemish with the interception later on, and Arizona starts to throw it over your head. Can you do both in the second half here is the question for Oklahoma State as they get the ball to start.
All right, let's go down to Jared and see what he learned at halftime.
All right, guys, well, I spoke to interim coach Meacham of Oklahoma State coming out of the half. And listen, he said offense has got to pick it up. At times, we looked discombobulated out there. Defensively, he's actually happy with how they played, crediting Noah Fafita, saying there's not many quarterbacks in the country that could make the plays that he made that led to Arizona's scores, JB.
All right, thank you very much. This feels like a critical drive if they want to put a scare into Tucson on this Saturday afternoon. The earliest date on the calendar that the Cats have hosted an afternoon game at Arizona Stadium in over 20 years. Off the play fake, Zane Flores into trouble and intercepted on the first rep of a new half. Javion Cole.
And the nightmare start for Oklahoma State coming out of the halftime locker room. You try and dial up a double move shot play. That time you get the post corner. Watch on the outside here. You're going to get the stem inside, the run back out, and that ball just sails overhead. It was well covered the entire way, probably one that you just need to sail out of bounds over the receiver's head, but you're trying to force a big play in the passing game, something that really eluded them in the first half, and instead you put your defense in a bind with Arizona beginning their first drive of the second half in plus territory after getting that field goal going into the halftime locker room.
More on the celebration to come from Jared. That's the 7th interception of the season for this defense. Top 10 in FBS, one off of last year's total. Fafita spins one into the boundary, incomplete. Individually for Cole, he now has 10 career interceptions at 3 schools: San Jose State, Texas, and now his second in Tucson.
And we get to see the turnover sword on the sideline, the beautiful cactus-shaped weaponry that they use to impale footballs for every turnover by the defense.
It's a sentence that's never been uttered on national television before. Congratulations, Mike Golick Jr., for entering that one into the law. It's been mostly offensive fireworks so far. Here's a defensive opportunity for the Cowboys that goes begging.
Oh, what an unbelievable missed opportunity there by Oklahoma State to jump on that football.
Wendell Gregory, the freshman outside backer, had the best look at it after McCoy helps rip it out.
You see that ball definitely out on the way down before anything had happened on that play. And then in the back end here, what a great job staying with it by Kaina DeCambra, the center for Arizona, the former Hawaii left tackle who transferred over this season. Great extra effort play.
24 play negative there, and the officials will stop it.
Rolling on the field is a fumble recovered by the offense. The previous play is under further review.
Well, the review will give you more time to brag on a former interior offensive lineman yourself, who I'm sure relishes these opportunities to go save a possession.
It's a great play, and it's why, in all seriousness, in every O-line room, you coach up guys to run to the football. Now, here's the play in question, and we're looking to see if there's any arm or leg down. That ball, to me, clearly out. We didn't hear a whistle blown for any stopping of forward progress. And so with that in mind, I think that should stay a live ball. And so you see right here, it looked like Wendell Gregory was on the inside track to being able to go and potentially scoop and score this, but we play a game with a really strange-shaped ball, and so sometimes you think you've got that opportunity. And that's why I talk about DeCambra on the other side. As we get a look inside the Big 12 Replay Operations Center right now, you see all the looks that they've got for this.
Going on the field is upheld. It'll be third down.
A nice timing there for all involved. Also want to shout out Iman Oates, right? The defensive tackle, the senior, for holding that ball carrier up to create the opportunity for a near takeaway.
Little moments you want to capitalize on, but now as a defense, you got them backed way up. Those are the kind of drive-killing plays for Arizona that now the challenge is, hey, just survive that, right? Don't make one bad play into two by all of a sudden putting the ball in harm's way the way we just saw Oklahoma State do.
Yeah, they nearly exchanged giveaways to begin this second half. 3rd and a mile for Fafita. Out to the perimeter. Sam Olsen gets a touch on Hispanic Heritage Weekend here in Tucson. Sam's the first member of his mother's family born in the States. He spoke very eloquently this week about his grandfather's journey, his family backstory, how the previous generation, the 2 generations above him in particular, allowed him this opportunity to thrive with their work ethic.
Great tribute that we saw at halftime. Great celebration here today.
Lovison with the punts. And down to Gavin Freeman, who gets away late. It takes an Arizona hop inside the 10. There's a skirmish well behind the play. Back in the area of the punts. And Dalton Johnson mixing it up with Landon Cleveland. Oklahoma State begins a new possession next.
Welcome to Dave & Buster's Game Day HQ, the best place to watch every play. 10 wings for $10. Nice move. Watch every game with Game Day deals at Dave & Buster's.
And Doug.
Are you here for Tracy?
We're here for everyone. Limo and I help people save hundreds by customizing car insurance with Liberty Mutual.
We ordered a limo, not a limo.
Oh yeah, we do that too.
The limo?
At your service. Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Come on, Kane, start to finish, baby, start to finish.
What didn't work?
Start to finish, start to finish.
Start, I never stop.
This season it's going to be a wild ride. Where's the beer guy? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light here? Bud Light where? Bud Light here! I missed that because of you.
Hey, got you, Bud Light.
Oh, nice. Never mind. Anything for the clean, crisp taste of Bud Light.
I have Tourette syndrome, stupid. Between my Tourette and my OCD, I'm not like every other bride. Have you guys ever had alpacas at a wedding?
She is trying to improve on her independence. It just makes me super proud of her.
We have been talking about premarital counseling.
Things just got way more complicated.
Bailin' Out Loud. New season, new night. Tuesday at 9. See it first on TLC.
Before the big race on the weekend, buckle up for NASCAR's High Octane Prelude. Every week,
True TV and HBO Max will bring you exclusive Cup Series practice and qualifying for the remainder of the season. See how teams tweak their rides to perfection in practice, then go all out in qualifying to try and lock in a front row spot on the starting grid.
You gotta earn everything in NASCAR.
It's the competition before the race, setting the stage for Victory Lane. NASCAR practices and qualifying, only on True TV and HBO Max.
Big 12 football on TNT Sports is presented by Allstate. You're in good hands. Well, it's been a great year on defense for the Cats. They've been particularly stout here on their home field.
Yeah, great hands all day from them, starting off early, disrupting the back end of this defense, being able to stymie this Oklahoma State rushing attack up front, and applying pressure on the quarterback. Great recognition here on the screenplay. They've been ready for everything, including the trickeration that we knew was going to be a big part of the game plan once again for Oklahoma State. And then, of course, from getting your hands on it to taking the ball in and creating another turnover for a defense that's been one of the best in the country at that so far. And you've seen the year-over-year improvement with Danny Gonzalez at the helm, been remarkable through the first quarter of the season.
In the meantime, Zane Flores and the Pokes were hoping for a third consecutive turnover-free day. And for the fourth time this season, that will not be the case. And so they'll give it to Rodney Fields Jr., who's repelled. So Arizona allowing just over 16 points per game, as we saw. It's top 25 in the nation. In 3 home games, though, fewer than 9 points per contest, leveraging this Tucson advantage. They really thoroughly tested next week against BYU. I'm sure you saw some of that last night. A ranked BYU team beating West Virginia. Bear Bachmeier threw for a career-high 351. Rushing gain of 2 leaves second down and 8. Wisely dirtying it at the feet of Gavin Freeman. Flores saves a sack with Tia Savea bearing down in his pocket.
You mentioned those passing yards we saw last night. Passing yards been difficult to come by as Sam Jackson gets the nod at quarterback here on third down for Oklahoma State, coming in relief of Flores. But this Arizona defense, one of 2 in college football, yet to give up a passing touchdown so far this season, and show no signs of slowing down in that regard today.
See if Sam Jackson can dig them out of 3rd and 8, deep in their own territory. From his 2. Arizona with another defensive stand. They get a 3 and out after the takeaway. Keith Groves Killebrew with a bounce back after he gave up 2 deep balls at Iowa State. He missed a ton of time in camp, and I think some of that rust was on display, but sticky coverage there, and another Pokes punt.
Showing that faith that they still have in him and the rest of this cornerback room to put them on an island, give them those opportunities to make plays.
Wysong drifting back to his own 35-yard line. Gets to his wall. No flags down as he carries up to the 47-yard line. I hinted at some of those Big 12 scores. BYU in next. I know we were both watching Cincinnati closely. A ranked home win for the Bearcats after they got one in Lawrence in front of us last weekend.
Brendan Sorsby been playing some really impressive football at quarterback for the Bearcats. Baylor surviving the scare against Kansas State, and with some great ones still on the way. Week in and week out, one of the most entertaining conferences in all of college football. So many teams feel like they've got an opportunity with a couple of well-timed wins to get that trip to Dallas.
Oklahoma State fans will see you next week in Stillwater. Will your opponent still be unblemished? We'll find out about Houston later tonight. So still in the early moments of the third quarter. It's been a choppy start coming out of the half for both offenses. See if Arizona can find its traction with Mahdi.
Trying to find it with tempo right here, get them into a rhythm.
Fafita a long wait at the mesh point. Mahdi cut down behind the line of scrimmage.
Who else but Parker Robinson?
Already got a pick, now a TFL.
Great job, see it, diagnose it, and fire downhill to make the play. Gets just enough of the ankles of the dynamic Mahdi to make that play and set up with another 3rd and long opportunity. We've seen Oklahoma State be able to generate some pressure up front. They're not afraid to fire it downhill and try and send some extra bodies to get the ball to Noah Fafita's hands faster.
Rare opportunity to get this offense in 3rd down and long. Fafita, a long wait, has to check it down. Quincy Craig to the 45. J.K. Johnson holds on for a tackle in space. A gain of 6, and it looks like the punting team coming on for the Cats.
Boy, I'm a little surprised by this, JB. This seemed like a great opportunity. We talked about the first drive, the message you send your team with the fourth down decision-making. And fourth and, under 5 yards across midfield and plus territory. I'm surprised this isn't a go opportunity for Arizona.
Instead, Isaac Lovison on the field to punt. Gavin Freeman, the return man for Oklahoma State, down at his 6-yard line. Long snap's a good one. Free rusher from the right of the punter nearly got home. And this will carry 8 yards deep in the end zone for a touchback. Timeout us. With 10:25 to go in the third. Arizona still on top, 24-6.
I'm the Modelo Recruiter, and I'm always scouting for full-time fans. Check out this year's recruits. The teen transfer, married into the team, but acts like he's married to the team. The playmaker can get the ball through the uprights without setting foot on a field. The early season hopeful doesn't hope that this is her team's year, knows so. These fans deserve a Modelo. Because football isn't really football without you.
We're so different. I'm punk rock, and you're Superman.
Hot damn. I'm punk rock.
You think everyone you've ever met is beautiful.
Ow! Ow! Stop it!
Maybe that's the real punk rock.
With Amica Auto Insurance, it's not just about where you're going, but who you go with. We're customer owned. And we look after what matters most to you. Together.
At Fairfield, every moment of a perfect game day shapes your fandom. Whether it's stepping out with your crew, grabbing the fuel you need to support your team, or getting that flawless assist from a fellow fan. Be ready. Wherever the season takes you, Marriott Bonvoy has a hotel brand for every kind of fan. Official hotel partner of the NCAA.
I have Tourette syndrome, stupid. Between my Tourette's and my OCD, I'm not like every other bride. Have you guys ever had alpacas at a wedding?
Baylin Out Loud returns Tuesday at 9. See it first on TLC.
Here are the in-season coaching changes so far in college football. We bring them up because of Meacham and Oklahoma State, of course, but we also noticed that Tim Skipper in the Rose Bowl leading Penn State 27-7 at the half.
One of the more shocking scores early in the day, as plenty of upset opportunities brewing, but I can't think of one more unlikely than that. An incredible response from that team that's had a tough season so far.
Meacham, the interim here, also the offensive coordinator. He's going to use Sam Jackson at quarterback once again. Saw Grayson Brousseau, a tight end, in his backfield to the perimeter with Gavin Freeman. Cut off at the sideline, a couple, maybe three.
For Sam Jackson, you look at this package and what it's all about. Giving an opposing defense something else they've got to prepare for. Another player's tendencies to try and go through. You only have so much time in the week to go through all the different looks you're going to possibly see. And so just another wrinkle to try and help you out while personnel-wise you get up to speed.
5 minutes into our second half. Half roll right for Jackson. Runs into trouble. Now scampers. Could not get away. Savai Naya limits the gain to just 1. The younger brother, Julian, showing up on a Saturday.
And that's one of the areas for Sam Jackson, who has been primarily a receiver. Yes, he did have 3 starts back at Cal in 2023, but when you're not a day in and day out quarterback, that pressure hits and all of a sudden it's first read and then right to try and get as many yards as you can on the ground.
Need 6 here. Back to pass. Swings it out. Freeman a long way to go. Cuts back inside and knocked off his feet before he reaches the line to gain. Now Max Harris flying to the football. 5 of the 6 he needed.
Boy, that tracking speed and rallying to the football is something that's certainly going to make Danny Gonzalez proud. Genesis Smith, Chase Kennedy showing up in the picture as well. So many hats to the ball on this defense. When you turn them on tape, it's one of the things that stands out. We know Desert Swarm is something that matters a lot. Those great defenses. We get a timeout here.
We get a 30-second timeout.
We get reconsidering the punting decision, do you think? We're at that point? 4th and 1 deep in your own end?
It could potentially be. I mean, you've seen the way that this half has gone so far. You understand you're only going to have so many high leverage opportunities like this, especially with the 4th and short. I think it'd be the right idea. Bust out the best that you've got. You really haven't made a ton of use of your quarterback's legs in the design run game yet. We saw that Sam Jackson scramble there, but even for Zane Flores, there's been a lot of those read plays, but I haven't seen the quarterback pull it yet. And so you get the defense bought in on all that run action you've sold them, and maybe use the legs of your quarterback here on 4th and short, get you an extra hat and get that much needed first down. Just give your defense a breather on the other side.
I saw those dueling huddles on the Oklahoma State sideline, right? One group ready to punt, Flores in the offense ready to go hunt. This 4th down and 1.
I love it. Be fearless. What do you have to lose at this point? As Flores back out on the field now. And let's see if they make use of his legs here on this crucial 4th and short.
Arizona's going to put a deep man back. In the instance of a pooch punt, they've got it covered. And now they spend a timeout, I think, believing that Oklahoma State is sincere about this go effort.
Charge timeout. Arizona. 1st and a half. We get a 30-second timeout.
And you saw very animated Brent Brennan on that play. Poor communication, a lack of certainty about what you were going to get from the other side. Force you to burn a timeout that, hey, maybe the game's not in balance right now. You've got an 18-point lead built, but you're constantly, as a coach, in the middle of games that, being frank, Arizona's supposed to win this game on paper going into today. But as a coach, you're constantly harping on the small details that are going to matter when you're in a close game, that are going to matter as you go on through conference play, and try and make sure that 7 losses in 8 games doesn't happen the way it did in 2024 after your 3-1 start. Every little thing matters. How you do those little things is how you're going to do everything as a team.
See the 4th down marker after each side spends a timeout over this decision. All 11 in both uniforms prepared for 4th down and 1. Rodney Fields Jr. will be the back. Flores is the quarterback. Can they pick up a yard? To the air and got it. Out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Rodney Fields Jr. moves the sticks.
Got really worried he was going to run out of real estate. You're going to get the look right here. He's going to come across the formation. The quarterback's going to fake this way and then come back on that designed rollout, the naked bootleg. And always tough, that quick change of direction. Thought they were going to run out of real estate quickly over there by the sideline, but a great toe tap.
The quarterback keeper here, and it goes for a loss. Deshaun McKnight playing on the other side of scrimmage again.
Your team leader in tackles for loss, at least 1 in each game so far, so he keeps that streak going early. This defensive front, you turn them on him. Malachi Bailey, I thought, has done a great job this year. Their leader in quarterback hurries, the former first-team All-SWAC performer at Elkhorn State. They're a deep group up front.
7 on the line here. And a run crease. One of the best gains of the day on the ground, and Oklahoma State will take it. 11 on the pickup for Rodney Fields Jr., who, despite missing the opener, leads the Pokes in rushing and all-purpose yards.
You're going to see right here the read fake from the quarterback. Holds a little bit of that backside, but a good seal and crease created by that offensive line up front. I do think getting that quarterback established as a part of the run game, as we get the Wildcat look here right now, important.
A direct snap over the left side. Ball comes out. Scoop and score opportunity still on the deck. And the Cats will have to settle for a fumble recovery. Trey Smith, the captain, pounces on it. Oklahoma State loses a fumble for the first time this season. And Trent Howland, trusted with the snap, coughs it up.
Just a tough rep here. You got a guy that's maybe not used to handling the ball coming right off the snap, but more just a great hit by the defense. Helmet lands right on the football for a guy that is used to being the ball carrier. Don't squeeze it quite tight enough, and now all of a sudden we get to add another football. It's a sacrifice to the sword. Oh, wow, we heard the pop.
Great sound effect from the sideline. This Arizona defense, I think, deserves more attention. It's not just a year-over-year improvement. It's become a force. Fafita rolling away from trouble. A ball fake to scoot up the sideline and get a couple. And Danny Gonzalez told us yesterday, we're okay on defense. We're not great yet. We can be elite, though, if we trust our talent. That's where they are as they open the month of October on that side of the ball.
And listen, turnovers aren't always a great predictive metric, but we know they come in bunches, and we know it's about getting hats to the ball, being in the right place, all things you can coach and put them in position to go and make those plays when they present like that.
I'll see if Fafita and the Cats can create some separation here. Long wait for the 2nd and 12 snap. Incomplete is the ruling on the field. Wendell Gregory at 6'3". Able to bust that up. Saw Luke Webb, a freshman defensive tackle, getting some burn up front for Oklahoma State as well.
And that one of the areas with a shorter quarterback, you can try and make life difficult, collapse the pocket, use that pressure to try and take away some of those easy throwing lanes up front as we stand for 3rd and long.
Risano on the right hip of Fafita. Another 3rd down and distance situation here. Can he pick up a dozen? Fires middle. Oh, what a catch. Crossing left to right and turning the corner and down inside the 5. Have a day, Trey Spivey.
The hands on full display once again. Wait till we get a look at this. JB, you're going to see him again come from the outside over here. Back in, and the full extension. That ball out in front of him again, snags it, and the run after catch been on display for him, usually in the low red zone where we've seen him get inside and score. But again, the extension and concentration, remarkable all day long for Spivey.
Freshman defensive back LaDainian Fields saves a touchdown for now. On the doorstep and goal situation. They split out Risano to allow Fafita to take this from empty. Noah Fafita fumbles, and Oklahoma State takes over on the 1-yard line. Wendell Gregory has been everywhere, and McCoy scoops it up.
Well, we talked about the design run game being in play for Noah Fafita. And in this play right here, they try and take advantage of it. You're going to see him start off this rep in empty, and they're going to bring the motion man across in front of Fafita, track him down on the backside, never quite secured the football, and a turnover for Oklahoma State. Huge play down on the goal line, great punch out by Wendell Gregory, and Oklahoma State takes over inside the shadow of their own end zone next.
Dementia-related psychosis. Fanapt prolongs the QT interval and may be associated with abnormal heart rhythm or sudden death. In 5% or more of people in clinical trials, heart rate increases, dizziness, hypotension, weight gain, dry mouth, stuffy nose, sleepiness, and increases in liver enzymes have been observed. These are not all the side effects. Talk to your prescriber and learn more at fanapt.com. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Oklahoma State is more than a university. We are a promise. A promise to inspire, to demand more from ourselves, and be leaders on a global scale. A promise to create, to solve the world's most complex problems, and to give back to our communities. At OSU, we are a promise to forever be loyal and true. Here at the nation's premier land-grant university, orange is the answer.
Today we're having a ceremony for our new house. It's gonna be... I'm not Indian. What did they think?
You Indian lady.
I'm sleeping down the hall from his parents. It's a small space. We all share one shower. So you don't see space as an issue right now?
No, I think this is fine.
90 Day Fiancé, The Other Way, all new, Monday at 8 on TLC.
Derry is a beautiful place, but things do happen from time to time.
Folks are getting funny ideas.
Keep the people you love close. Your lives depend on it.
There's something here. Something bad.
Welcome back. Arizona up 24-6 in the third quarter and was looking to punch in another on the goal line. You see Noah Fifita here with the read play and just never quite got the football secured and put away. A great punch out defensively by Wendell Gregory at linebacker. And a scoop opportunity. Now they got to get out of their own end zone for the Oklahoma State offense. But what a great opportunity set up by the D.
Flores from the C and Wildcats. Hands off to Fields, who buys a bit of breathing room. Tay Brown limits the gain. Second red zone turnover in as many weeks for Arizona. They lost a pick last week in Ames. And look, it feels like now a moral victory defensively for Oklahoma State. If they can go get a touchdown here, they got a chance to chase an actual victory.
Your defensive coordinator was an offensive quality control guy a week ago. So for them to come out and have that attention to detail backed up in their own end zone, really, really impressive turnaround already.
Flores from his end zone, way out of bounds, into the kicking net.
Trying to set up the double move, covered down by Arizona on the outside.
So is that just the timer running off in his head, knowing where he is on the field?
Exactly. We've talked about Flores getting more and more reps as the weeks tick along now, coming off a training camp battle that he originally lost but then thrust back into. You'd imagine probably a design draw called right here, as you don't want to risk a holding call with the quarterback in the end zone.
A former Nebraska Prep Player of the Year throws in his own end zone. Risky, but they survived a punt. Rodney Fields Jr. and his trusty hands out of the backfield. It's fourth down.
Can't say I love the wide receiver screen with your player standing in the end zone. As we look here, plenty of space up front. Flores gets that ball out. Good blocking on the perimeter just to get enough breathing room to maybe get the punt off here. High risk.
Do appreciate the Pokes allowing us to show off our sky cam on the goal line, however.
For that, we are thankful.
Clean operation on the punts. Let's see where Luke Weissong steps up to take it. Oh, no, he muffs. The Cats getting sloppy out of the halftime locker room. Unable to extend their lead. Fortunate to keep the possession. I'll point out here that Jeremiah Patterson is not playing today, receiver and punt returner. So this is Weissong's role today.
Great job getting back on the football, preventing that mistake from compounding. But we saw him make a great play before on a punt return where he was able to get some positive yards for his team off a bobbled ball. That one looked a little bit more routine. But you can't take any of those plays for granted. Still starting in plus territory if you're Arizona.
Ismail Mahdi in the backfield. Fifita in plus territory to begin a new possession. And as much as they're missing up front, Oklahoma State competing in the running game on defense. Malik Charles gobbles up another one. He's the son of Mike Charles, who played D-line at Syracuse and in the league.
Getting more playing time with Tajay McCoy not available for them today. And I'm with you, JB. It's been an impressive effort. The Arizona defense has given their offense every opportunity, and right now, they just have not been able to put this Oklahoma State team away.
Wildcat team that's rushed for at least 100 yards in every game so far this season. Nothing doing today. Fifita climbs the pocket and sends a missile over the middle. Complete for a first down to the 21-yard line. Gain of 17. Chris Hunter on the receiving end.
Great job once again by Fifita navigating the pocket here. You can go ahead and roll it. Pressure up the middle. Climbs the pocket, keeps his eyes downfield, knows he's probably going to take a hit at the end of that play. But we've seen those routes going towards the middle, a back end of this defense vacated by the losses at safety, opening up more opportunity for the Wildcats receivers.
Back to pass again. Tons of time to the end zone with some touch. Nunu Watley. Touchdown, Arizona.
That's the response you wanted to see from this offense. Turn the ball over on the goal line. with a fumble off the exchange for your quarterback. And so what do? You put it on him and give him an opportunity to affect the game with his arm this time from distance. And once again, Noah Fifita, now his 4th touchdown on the day, where he's just gone over 340 passing yards.
Now, 5th time in his career he's got a 4-touchdown game. Extra point knocked right through. And finally, from Arizona's perspective, some separation.
See right here, Watley matched up with Parker Robertson, who's done a great job all day at safety, coming down and making plays, but that's an athletic mismatch every time. That's what you hunt if you're offensive coordinator Seth Dagey, a chance to get your dynamic athletes in the slot matched up with a safety who's had to do more today without a lot of his teammates around, and this time just can't stay with it. Great layered throw by Fifita. And you're right, JB, the response you wanted to see if you're Brent Brennan in this offense, to come out and execute at your level in the second half.
Now, last week, Fifita and Dagey essentially fought to take the blame. I mean, not like fought, but like they had an argument in the media over who was to blame for a lackluster performance on the road, a measuring stick opportunity. And I learned this week that Noah has actually made the decision he's only going to speak at the podium after losses. After wins, he wants to delegate that shine to his teammates, and just yet another way where he's become an ultimate leader for this program. There's no chance for any sort of kick return opportunity against Ian Wagner this season.
If you're going to be the kicker wearing the hoodie underneath your pads, you better be booting it out of the back of the end zone.
Sierra Vista native, a homecoming to complete his college career after playing at Illinois State as well. Fifita checking the tablet in the shade. A rare day game here in October, and that Wildcat sideline is in the sunshine as our shadows start to creep here. Both are, but later in the day, it'll be the visitor sideline that gets the shade first. Kickoff temperature only in the mid-80s, not as severe as we expected, but on the turf, a completely different story. Zane Flores, no stranger to the heats. Heaves one over the middle. The right idea just off the mark. And Gavin Freeman running through that second level. Flores, someone that Meacham recruited while at TCU. Had a handful of nice Power 4 offers, including the likes of Washington and Missouri and Kansas. Kansas State, Indiana.
Had his season-long 47-yarder to Rodney Fields last week, and they felt like he'd make progress each and every week. Obviously today a bit of a step back for the whole offense.
That one on the back hip of Sam Jackson. You mentioned his time at Cal. Fernando Mendoza was his running mate there. Eventually took over the keys in Berkeley, now at Indiana, and now on a lot of draft boards as one of the top quarterbacks in the class.
Getting a lot of Heisman Trophy buzz early in the season, doing a great job at the helm for Curt Cignetti's offense. It's what we talk about a lot for college football now. These guys, so many different schools loaded up into the player bio. It used to be you saw a guy come from one school, now it's 3-4 stops for some of these players, and trying to get them to gel quickly is the challenge for every staff.
Arizona just tacked on a touchdown, now looking for a defensive stop. They're bringing it to Flores' doorstep. A completion to the 30. That will not be nearly enough. Christian Fitzpatrick, who arrived in Stillwater with over 40 career games of experience. His 4th school, he's played at Louisville, Michigan State, and Marshall. Hobbling off 4th and 4.
An explosive athlete, too. You go back and look a year ago at Marshall, some of the spectacular plays he made, highlight reel one-handed grabs, and again, knowing what the quarterback situation's been, all the changes in offense and everything, haven't seen that show up consistently yet. As the offense staying out in the field right now, going for broke.
Now or never for Oklahoma State. On the road at Tucson. Nothing doing. Savai Naya with a takeover on downs. And this Arizona defense continues to dominate.
JB, I'm all for being aggressive right here, and you see just a 4-man rush from Arizona on the other side. Nothing there originally, and so he goes to try and tuck and run and get the first down. But now you put your defense in a tough spot again here. I thought punting there, giving them a long field to potentially work with, might help them out a little bit in the complementary football game. Meacham, I know he was the offensive coordinator before he was the interim head coach. You want to be aggressive. You want to go out there and cut it loose while you have to lose. But after your defense just gave another touchdown up, demoralizing now to have to go back out on the field with Arizona in plus territory again.
And Fafita working on a 4-touchdown day with Quincy Craig in his backfield. Play action shot here. Got it! Fafita flawless, 29 yards over the shoulder of Chris Hunter. His 5th touchdown ties a career high.
And now moves him into a tie with Khalil Tate for 3rd most in school history. And what a play to do it on. Straight one-on-one go ball that he couldn't have handed him better than he threw it there. An impressive, impressive throw from the veteran QB.
Well, if drops was the story of the pass catching unit here through the first month of the season, they've gone out and made plays for their quarterback today.
Quarterback sees he's got a one-on-one opportunity, and you're right. You heard this coaching staff talk about coaching up the drops. They said they weren't going to go out and just yell at these guys, tell them to catch the football. Brent Brennan said, I'm a former receiver. I want to know, hey, what goes into it? What's the issue that we're having looking this in right now, making the plays necessary? And that work paying off today for a group that's had an incredibly productive afternoon.
Now you mentioned it, climbing the career passing charts in multiple categories. Now tied with Khalil Tate's 57 apiece. And as we said, 5 touchdown tosses. It's not a new thing, but it is a career high watermark for Noah Fafita.
Tell you what, 10 more to get to the top of that list. He stays producing like this. That's a very doable number for one of the best quarterbacks in school history.
How about some kicker swag? That's the 30th of the year for Ian Wagner. Only 1 returned.
Established dominance in every phase. Coach talks about the red line. 100 miles an hour, 100% of the time. That extends to the kicker.
When they bring the dynamic kickoff from the NFL to college football, Wagner's going to be one of the driving forces behind the change.
No question. The legs on some of these kickers nowadays, college, the NFL, been remarkable to see how comfortable these guys are pulling up from distance.
See Sam Jackson marching into position. I said this earlier, but he only had 3 touches through the first 3 games. And then last Saturday against Baylor, hit all 3 of his pass attempts for 46 yards, including a 26-yard score to Josh Ford, who unfortunately is not dressed today. Hope to see him next week in Stillwater. A give around the left side. Freeman had nowhere to go. A loss of 2 as Arizona played it to perfection.
You mentioned Ford out in that tight end room, Will Money. All of the targets that they had 2 tight ends so far this season unavailable today, and you've seen the shrinking menu of plays that they can go to when you don't have that personnel group as readily available to you, when you're constantly shuffling in quarterbacks to try and manufacture some sort of spark.
Jackson flooded from pressure. Oh, you see the Jets there as he takes off and gets out of bounds with a few. Jabari Mann, a freshman linebacker from San Mateo, California, after him. All right, watch lower right here, Mike.
Yeah, look down here.
Oh, yes.
100%, 100 miles per hour, 100% of the time. How about the cheerleading squad putting the megaphone to use fielding the ball there? Teamwork makes the dream work. Rumble, young man, rumble.
That feels like a Jared Greenberg interview waiting to happen in the 4th quarter, doesn't it?
He's already got a sword down there. Let's give him a megaphone now, too. Jared needs more toys.
I'm on it, fellas.
So 1 return surrendered and 1 into the megaphone for Wagner. Jackson could not get all the way there. Dalton Johnson cuts him off before the line to gain. 4th down in the final seconds of the 3rd quarter, which took a while to get off the ground offensively, but 14 points on the board for Arizona in this frame.
Offense staying on the field for now, but I have a feeling this is just to play out the 3rd quarter here. We saw them go for it in a similar situation before. As the final seconds tick off, this Oklahoma State sideline going to catch their breath.
As Fafita adds 2 more passing touches.
That turnover with the date and the turnover on it for everyone to see and to celebrate. That happens and will happen 3 more times at least tomorrow during the defensive meetings.
We'd just like to alert a TSA pre-check at Tucson International. Make sure you check Jared's bags closely on his way out of town today.
He's for sure going to try and walk out of the stadium with that thing today.
Oh, there's no question.
The Arizona equipment staff is going to have to pry that out of his hands, and understandably so. It's, again, a lot of people, we've seen sideline things over the years, the turnover chains, different things like that, but you want to create buy-in. You want to create some excitement there. We heard it talked about from Clint Bowen and the Oklahoma State staff, but being able to celebrate each other and what the plays you make on defense week in and week out.
Fafita's got some record opportunities here if they stay on the gas. He's going to run this to the 35-yard line and duck down before really taking the brunt of that contact. His backup is Braden Locke, and you figure you might see him at some point later today after a couple of seasons at Wisconsin.
Yeah, as we see Noah Fafita with his hands over his ears listening to that coach comm, I'm sure they're saying, continue to get down. You don't want to see him with a ton of rushing attempts while you got the game in hand, but you certainly don't want to see him taking hits.
2nd down and 4. I'll send it out to the perimeter and get Gio Richardson, a freshman from Chandler, Arizona, a catch and a 1st down. We've told this story earlier in the season, but Gio broke his fibula in the biggest game of his career, the 24 state championship here, just a couple of days after signing with U of A. So it's great to see him running well, playing well. He is everything that Arizona wants in a slot receiver, the coaching staff tells us. They're just loaded at the top of their depth chart. Hit the sweep here. Touch for Richardson, and if you're contributing to winning so far this season in Tucson, you're going to keep playing. That was the message from the coaching staff as they passed that 4-game threshold where you do burn your year of eligibility.
No question. They understand in college football now as much as ever, it's a long season, especially if you get to the places that you want to go in the postseason. And so having depth at a lot of these important positions, we've seen the way this offense works best, spreading the football around, another capable weapon for this offense.
Here comes 2nd down and 8 against the blitz. Fafita got rocked, puts it in the afternoon sky, and nearly came away with a gem. What a dot this was. Everything but the catch from Richardson.
Yep, some miscommunication on the side. You're going to see 2 defenders coming here, and the left tackle kind of caught in no man's land in between, so the end goes inside and gets a free hit on Fafita, and an incredible shot from Malik Charles, but still almost puts it on the money.
That would have been sensational.
It's a difficult catch, no doubt, JB, but when the quarterback puts it in that kind of spot with that kind of hit, that's got to be one you come down with.
That could be Fafita's best throw of the day, especially considering the price he paid. The kitchen sink coming after him, and the officials shut it down with a flag down. False start, the initial indication.
Prior to the snap, false start, offense, number 12, 5-yard penalty, 3rd down.
Honestly, thank whatever deity you choose that they did shut that play down, because pressure was coming right up the middle and what could have been another big hit on Fafita.
Long wait here for 3rd down and 13. Just a couple of minutes into the 4th quarter. Craig's in his backfield to help out with protection. Let's see if they do go for the sticks. They will. Fafita dodges the first, steps up, and is sacked. The score is not going to reflect the effort that this defense brought to Tucson today.
Yep, watch the end tackle game over here. You're going to get a cross up on this side, and great penetration upfield by the end, crashing down, flashes in the quarterback's face, and they both rally to the football.
It's a deep reserve. Poasa Utu, a sophomore outside linebacker in the box score. And Bowen and company rightly celebrating on their sideline. They may be outmatched today, but that does not undermine their effort whatsoever. This will settle inside the 20. Lovison with a good punt. 38-6 our score. As Arizona Zoo hanging tough in the heat.
At AT&T, we guarantee our network so you can watch the game together, even when you're away.
Here we go. No, we got it. We got it.
Yes, yes, yes!
Go, go, go.
Go, 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 go! Yes!
My wife is having a baby.
Staying connected matters. That's why in the rare event of a network outage, you'll automatically get a bill credit for a full day's service. That's all part of the AT&T guarantee.
Welcome to Dave & Buster's Game Day HQ, the best place to watch every play. 10 wings for $10. Nice move. Watch every game with Game Day deals at Dave & Buster's.
Limu Limo at your service. Here to help you save hundreds by customizing your car insurance with Liberty Mutual. Probably should have gone the other way.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
You ready for the next adventure, pal?
This is all I've ever wanted. To be a real hero.
There's another dimension. It's exactly the same as ours,
but it's better.
This is your perfect world, huh?
Best dimension ever.
In October, every player wants to turn his story into history.
High stakes postseason baseball on TBS.
You have to want it. Grab it.
This ball's flying. This guy's so locked in. Trying to make some history. October baseball history on the line.
I think one of our best strengths, having played together for a few years now, is I can communicate with Dalton and Genesis without even saying a word.
It takes a hand or just eye contact.
This defense has been dialed in all night long.
It allows us to play faster and trust each other.
Because one man mess up, we all mess up. We're back in, we're the last line of defense, so we all got to be on the same page.
Welcome back to Tucson. Danny Gonzalez and the Arizona Wildcats with another touchdown-free performance so far, holding Oklahoma State to 6, and we may have a quarterback change now for the Pokes. Banks Bowen, the freshman from Lawrence, Kansas, the son of the now interim defensive coordinator who coached him as a prep, takes over and hands off to Rodney Fields Jr. Another run stuff for Mays Pesse and this Arizona defensive fronts. Let's give Devin Dunn some love and run support.
You know, in the midst of all this, what a cool moment for Clint Bowen, right? Took some time away from the college game to go back and coach his alma mater in Lawrence, a place he spent so many years as a coach and as a player. Talked about how rejuvenating it was being back at the high school level, seeing all these guys go out there, play with their best friends, getting to coach both his sons at that level, and now having the chance to do it here, albeit on the other side of the ball in Stillwater.
Get a toss to the edge and run out near the 24-yard line. Bowen will become the third quarterback to throw a pass today for Oklahoma State. The true freshman who spent the spring at Tulsa before transferring to be with his father.
A lot of talk about his dad. How about a shout out to his mom, Christy? 2001, Miss Kansas. 2014, Mrs. Kansas. She got the pageant scene on lock.
As a junior who has a famous father, I see you working there. Well done, Michael the junior. 3rd down 5. Here's Bowen's first toss if he can get it off. Instead, tracked down from behind and sacked. Myron Robinson, a freshman linebacker, gets his first.
Just a great job. And this is one of the things, coming in as a young quarterback, late in the game, you're cold, the timing's off, and you don't have that clock in your head for the relentless pursuit that we've seen all the way down the depth chart for this Danny Gonzalez defense that's gotten so much richly deserved love today.
Whitesong back for the Cats to receive another upright spiral punt from his 35. All right, so we've seen a change at quarterback for the visitors with a commanding 38-6 lead. Looks like it's lock time in the desert when we continue.
I'm not really one for the spotlight, but there is some gravy to be had. You know, I always seem to get primo parking. But you don't have to be a VIP to get more than just savings with Geico. Every customer gets tip-top service with 24/7 fast, friendly claim support.
I never do this, but could I get a picture?
Yeah, it's not like you run into animal celebrities every day.
Stop. It's Doug the Pug! Doug! Doug!
I stand corrected.
I literally never do this.
Get more than just savings. Get more with Geico. Shop bestsellers at Ashley, where no matter what your holiday traditions are, you're always at home. Whether you're making extra room with our extendable dining tables or creating the perfect cozy space with our modular seating. Shop holiday deals and make lifelong memories with Ashley.
Wildly entertaining and unpredictable Big 12 has a champion to crown, and AT&T Stadium is where we're going to decide it.
Into the corner, touchdown.
Guys, we've got a big problem.
We're going in!
See you later, chum. Hello, Retta. Do you still like scary houses?
Nope. If anyone's head spins around, this is the last episode that I am doing. Nah, homie, we out.
Scariest House in America. All new. Friday night at 9 on HGTV.
At the end of the day, like, you gotta love this game to go out here and continue to be your best.
I will still get the job done.
Is that ring not right here fitted?
Noah Fifita's 5th game of 350-plus yards passing. There were some blemishes, but 5 touchdowns and a victory win this day is through as he gives way to Braden Locke.
Imperfect off execution overall, but anytime this can be maybe an imperfect day, we're going to have stuff to coach up, and you got 5 touchdown passes, tying a school record, moving you up to a tie with 3rd on the all-time list. It's a pretty darn good day for Noah Fifita.
A 6-foot redshirt junior from Rockwall, Texas gets an opportunity against Oklahoma State and to close out a league win. Wesley Yarborough, who's a freshman and a hyper-talented one, gets a look here. This is a deep running back room that's not been able to run it effectively so far today, Mike. And I wonder, how much that injury disruption on the left side of Arizona's line today contributed to the pressure that Fifita faced and the lack of rushing success.
No doubt there were some of those plays, hits towards the end that looked like communication errors. Rhino Tapa Totai had some issues that led to Noah Fifita taking a shot. So no doubt having that time under task together, important as we see them now take advantage of the opportunity to lean on this Oklahoma State defense that's been on the field a lot today. But there's no doubt there's going to be plenty to clean up in that run game, but you're absolutely right. Communication and mixing up who's in that group for a couple of drives consecutively in that first half definitely can have an effect.
Yarborough is going to be a tough tackle for any defense, especially shorthanded as this Oklahoma State group is. Locke, who spent a couple of seasons at Wisconsin, originally signed with Mississippi State to play for the late Mike Leach. Yarborough with a flag down. Part of the reason I think the offensive line is worth discussing here is because maybe the best defense in the Big 12 comes in next. BYU will present some problems, although I'll point out, I read that both of their leading tacklers got injured last night, so that's something we'll be monitoring week over week.
10-yard penalty, first down.
Michael Wooten with the infraction there.
Yeah, we've seen injuries having a big impact on the games today already, right? Iowa State coming off a big win over Arizona loses both of their corners, and then a game to Cincinnati where they're able to take advantage of that. And you see right here, Wooten get the hook at the point of attack. Easy call for the officials. first and a mile.
Locked to the air for the first time, and that's going the other way. Cam Smith with a pick six. Now it's 9. It's Fields. LaDainian Fields celebrates a defensive touchdown. Oklahoma State needs some new contributors to emerge for this second season in Stillwater, and Fields may be at the top of that list. The redshirt freshman from Oklahoma City delivers.
The fight from this Oklahoma State defense can't be overstated today, as you see Locke and Brent Brennan talking through the decision on the sideline. Just never saw him. Threw it back to that left side, and nothing but daylight.
Extra point blasted. Oklahoma State's first touchdown comes under new leadership on defense. Another one for Bowen and company to celebrate. Fields, the redshirt freshman.
Ponvory can cause your heart rate to slow down, especially after you take your first dose. Do not take Ponvory if in the last 6 months you had a heart attack, unstable angina, stroke, or other severe heart conditions, including certain types of abnormal heart rhythm. The most common side effects of Ponvory include upper respiratory tract infections, elevated liver enzymes, and high blood pressure. Starting treatment with Ponvory will begin with the starter pack. Ask your doctor about Ponvory or visit ponvory.com to learn more. By Vanda Pharmaceuticals.
Derry is a beautiful place, but things do happen from time to time.
Folks are getting funny ideas.
Keep the people you love close. Your lives depend on it.
There's something here. Something bad.
It's been a week of departures in Stillwater, but those Cowboys who are here have been dialed in, and a highlight for Fields going the other way.
And a little bit of justice for Braden Locke. You're going to see the slant here by Phelps where he just slips, so the quarterback's throwing a timing play, puts the ball where he thinks the receiver is going to be, and instead Fields waiting there for the easy pick six. So just an unfortunate slip by Phelps that turns into 6 the other way.
Amadi and Craig, the return men, will take a fair catch and actually just let it land in the end zone. Same difference. 38-13 our new score as we check out our Coca-Cola play of the game.
And who else but Noah Fafita on a career day, scrambling, keeping the play alive to make something happen, and eventually finds his man Luke Wysong down the field for a big strike and score in this game. 1 of 5 passing touchdowns for Fafita on a day where he throws for 376 yards, and none more impressive than that, certainly.
I mean, you could argue one of the most important things to come out of today for Fafita in Arizona, building trust and confidence in his targets. He has spread them around once again here today, but his pass catchers have made plays at the catch point and then with the football in their hands.
11 drops on the season turned into a bunch of opportunities, showing that group he still has plenty of faith in them to go do it.
Wendell Gregory has shined on defense for Oklahoma State. And look, if this is the group moving forward for Clint Bowen and this OSU defense, 38 points on the board, we get it. But I think that doesn't tell the full story of what they've done here today.
No, I think especially at the linebacker group. Wendell Gregory is a name we've called a lot. Malik Charles, certainly Brian McCoy, the stoic leader of this group on defense, have all made some impact plays.
Locke goes back to the air, settles his feet, and drives one up the seam. Contested catch. Let's see. Who's got it? Wow. Oklahoma State signaling takeaway. Gio Richardson saying, I got the ball right here.
His fellow freshman Isaiah Mizell hyping him up and fighting for the ball the entire way through, and able to wrestle that out of the hands of Kenneth Harris, who thought he had a surefire interception. Great play from the freshman wideout.
39 on the gain, and now Yarbo did well just to hold on to the football. Knifing through, it's Gregory again, a former 4-star recruit.
Let's go back and look at this catch from Richardson again. Great play over the top again by Kenneth Harris. You can't do it much better than that. But Richardson stays with it, keeps contesting that all the way through, and makes a phenomenal play to reward his quarterback's faith. And remember, Richardson had the drop on one of the last passes from Noah Fafita. A great ball down the sideline where Fafita took a shot, put it in his lap, and he dropped it. That time, paying the quarterback off.
I just think it'd be a great
Short drop for Locke with some mustard below the 30. He's feeding Gio Richardson. Another catch.
I think they got the defense to jump on the hard count before that snap as Richardson limps off a little gingerly right now.
I mentioned that catastrophic injury at the end of his prep season. Hope this is more just of a minor setback for the local product. Former track star in addition to everything he's done on the gridiron. Wide receivers coach Bobby Wade says he is extremely smart as well as talented. Wade was a record-setting receiver here.
Goes back and gets it. Yeah, just gets hit low there. Looks like his leg might have been caught in the ground. So able to get up under his own power and certainly hope he's okay. They talked about how important it was too. He got on campus still and was in the playbook and was dialed in doing everything the neck up that he needed to get himself ready so that physically when he had the opportunity he could make plays like this.
Walk to the flat, able to link up with a tight end. Barmore out of bounds with a new first down right in front of Danny Gonzalez there. He gives him a pat.
Right here ends up being a little RPO, so you got the tight end coming in motion and then working his way back outside. So the quarterback sells that run fake, sees the end stay upfield, and then just able to get it out over the outstretched arms of the blitzing linebacker. They're giving Locke a chance to go and run this offense. He's not just putting it in the belly of the back. They're letting him get valuable reps here at the end of this game.
Lost one to the end zone. Well defended. Trey Spivey going for a hat trick. Eric Fletcher, a freshman in at corner.
Great job staying with it. Ball just a hair underthrown. Sometimes on these fades towards the end zone, you like to see the ball underthrown, try and get a pass interference, but the corner turning and running with Spivey the whole way, so he's got a chance to come and make a great play on the ball. Good job by Spivey, honestly, coming back and almost playing the role of the defender there.
He's taking the long way back to the sideline, isn't he? The end zone route. Braden Locke at the switch here. The new quarterback was recruited by Seth Dagey at a high school when he was an assistant back at USC. Clean platform here, getting antsy. The clock runs out and he's sacked. Armstrong Nodham, a freshman defensive end from Mesquite, Texas.
That's coverage sack right there. Nowhere to go with the football. Defensive line stays in their rush lanes and eventually gets home. These guys all understand, hey, there have been some guys that have left, so I've got an opportunity to go out there and try and earn more playing time for this staff and Clint Bowen that are coming over here is almost a clean sheet. If you haven't been getting the reps you want, now you've got plenty of opportunity, and a lot of these guys taking advantage of that today.
To the air again on third down and long. Walls caving in and back-to-back sacks for the Pokes. More momentum to take back to Stillwater. Sitiveni Havili Kafusi busting up the pocket there. Oates in the mix.
Guys getting flattened the whole left side of that line. Some friendly fire as we had a couple of players tripping over one another. And that's still the guys that have played a lot of this game. Michael Wooten's been pressed into action. Rhino Tapa Totai's been in there for most of the game at left tackle. So those guys have plenty of reps. It's not like they're coming in completely cold. We know at some other positions they've made changes along this offensive line. There's some issues now getting everyone out here and lined up for the field goal try, and Brent Brennan's got to burn a timeout.
Charge timeout, Arizona. First and a half. Be a 30-second timeout.
Well, I mentioned we'll be in Stillwater next week, so Eskimo Joes get ready. Houston coming to town. And then BYU against Arizona. I think that should have a national spotlight on it in terms of the consequence as we take a look at Arizona's upcoming schedule presented by Modelo. You want to talk about the race to the Big 12 championship? Next week, a big one against a ranked, unbeaten BYU.
No question, great opportunity for both teams going into that one. road trip to Nippert at Cincinnati in November, that especially after today, Cincinnati beating a ranked Iowa State team. Some great opportunities. You don't draw Utah and Texas Tech during the course of this season. The Big 12 is wide open as any conference in America.
We're going to stretch Michael Salgado Medina's range here. His career-long 52 in the opener against Hawaii. This to reset the high water mark from 57, and he crushed it. Special teams has been a sore spot for the first month of the season. That's a high note to end on for Brennan and company.
Had a miss early in the day. Keep giving him some opportunities. Brent Brennan obviously wasn't happy. He had to burn the timeout to get everyone out there. But the reward on the back end, from distance, no problem. Nothing but the back of the net.
Take some of the sting out of those back-to-back sacks. You get a chance to build confidence from your long snapper all the way through your place kicker. 57 yards to extend the lead to 41-13. Right, I'm calling a field goal. Next thing I know, I got a chimichanga being served. What do we got going on here, Golick?
We've got a chimichanga from El Charro, who claims to have invented the chimichanga right here in Tucson. Right. A hefty plate. You can see this. It's the size of a small child. Been tearing into this.
It's about 8 pounds lighter than when it was delivered at halftime.
That is true. I've been doing work on the mini chimmies here, so shout out to the folks from El Charro. We're 2 for 2 in trips to Tucson of having food delivered in the booth. We had the Sonoran hot dog the last time we were here. Safe to say, I'm going to sleep soundly tonight with the amount of this that I've been able to put down.
We enjoyed a nice steak at their downtown location in our first visit.
The carne seca beef in there. Sun-dried. You can only get it here in Tucson, and we're fortunate enough to have it in the booth. The hospitality second to none.
In your research pie, how much of it would you say weekly is Big 12 football, and how much of it is local cuisine?
Listen, we're trying to paint the full picture, baby. Food is a love language. And one of the great parts of this job, getting to go around to so many different great college towns across this country this year to get to do it in the Big 12, is everyone's got their own special flavor. And Tucson, coming into this, I was not familiar with your game and the food scene, and I apologize. Y'all are serving it up out here.
Shout out to Section 209. Bird's eye view of this 41-13 affair. Maybe Jerry can go make a friend before the day is through.
Something tells me that guy doesn't want to watch the game with anyone else, which, you know what, I respect.
New drive for the Pokes. Going to stack a few more positives on a day that's had very few on offense. They got a defensive score, and they get Caleb Hicks the football. Now, he did not play against Tulsa, was not involved in the Baylor game plan either, but came into today still leading the team in carries. Have a career-high 63 rushing yards in that loss at Oregon in week 2.
Career-high 63 rushing yards in that loss to Oregon, the former Oklahoma Sooner, working his way in today.
Banks Bowen on in relief of Zane Flores today, quarterback for the Cowboys. Handles a low snap. Riley Wilson in on the tackle. He had a couple of third down sacks in Ames last week. What an amazing journey. He signed with Hawaii in 2020. Played receiver, tight end, safety, linebacker, you name it. Then went to Montana. All conference standout there. His father, Buddy, played for Woody Hayes at Ohio State. And Wilson was, away from the field a little bit, missed time in the fall. But they're building him into the mix, and he's another asset Danny Gonzalez is going to be able to leverage in the middle of this conference schedule.
They love guys that can get after the quarterback around here. You put that on tape, and no doubt Danny's eyes are going to be wide trying to figure out all the ways he can use it as we got a quarterback run called here for Bowen going for the first down.
Showing off the wheels, out of bounds on his sideline with a rush for 12.
The clock ticks down under 3 minutes here. Trying to put a drive together on offense for Doug Meacham's group, who, again, still searching for an identity now post Mike Gundy, and that's kind of going to be the theme going forward of trying to figure out where do you go next as a program without the man that's been leading it in one way or another for over 2 decades.
A Hicks run left side here, shut down by Arizona. For Oklahoma State, they're going to extend some tough streaks. But among them, they haven't seen a lead against an FBS opponent in now 8 straight, dating back to an early field goal at Baylor last October.
This is 2-minute timeout.
And Doug.
Imagine if we could tell everyone here that Liberty Mutual customizes car insurance to save people hundreds. Leave him! It's a mascot! Liberty.
The darkness of bipolar depression made me feel like life was moving on without me. Then I found a chance to let in the light.
Discover Caplyta. Unlike some medicines that only treat bipolar 1, Caplyta is proven to deliver significant symptom relief from both bipolar 1 and 2 depression. And in clinical trials, movement disorders and weight gain were not common.
Elderly dementia patients have increased risk of death or stroke. Caplyta is not approved for dementia-related psychosis. Call your doctor about new or sudden mood changes, behaviors, or suicidal thoughts right away. Antidepressants may increase these risks. Report fever, confusion, stiff muscles, which may be life-threatening, or uncontrolled muscle movements, which may be permanent. High cholesterol and weight gain may occur, as can high blood sugar, which may be fatal. Common side effects are sleepiness, dizziness, nausea, and dry mouth. These aren't all the side effects.
Ask your doctor how Caplyta can help you let in the light. Find savings at Caplyta.com.
This is Buick, now. Buick, exceptional by design.
Get 0.9% APR on these 2025 Buick models. Plus, current eligible non-GM owners get up to $3,000 allowance on Encore GX.
Being a champion means knowing when to work and when to reward myself.
Strawberry mango.
This is amazing. And with my Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases.
Really? You call this a workout?
I'm just taking a little break. Then I'll get back after it.
I'm messing with you. Actually, that looks really good.
Make it 2. With the Active Cash credit card from Wells Fargo, I earn a limited 2% cash rewards on purchases. Terms apply.
Back to pass again. Tons of time. To the end zone with some touch. Nunu Watley. Touchdown, Arizona. Play action shot here. Got it. Fafita flawless. Yeah, Noah Fafita able to overcome a couple of turnovers and have another record matching day in the desert. Arizona's about to get to 4-1, win their conference home opener. Some discombobulation, meanwhile, for Oklahoma State. Banks Bowen in at quarterback.
Ball came out late there. Looks like an Oklahoma State offensive lineman able to fall on that one.
They put it in the hands of Royal Capel, a freshman receiver.
So for this Arizona team coming into this game, you were 3-1, coming off a conference loss to Iowa State. You know what happened last year and able to respond today so far with a chance to close out a win. We know it became 7 losses in 8 games last year. The quest for Brent Brennan this season, trying to right those wrongs, get this team to a bowl and beyond.
A design QB run here above the 40. And I think you're taking us in the right direction. This year is not last year, right? It's not just getting to 4-1. But I wonder how high Arizona fans are setting their sights now. I know last week was a tough pill to swallow, but are they just improved from last year? Are they a bowl team? Or are they a true contender in this conference? We'll know so much more next weekend.
Yeah, I think next week's the real test. So far, they've gotten the job done. Last week was a setback, but there were still areas in that they liked. They thought their offensive line performed well against that vaunted Iowa State defense. Noah Fafita comes back this week with a group of pass catchers that had dealt with the drops this season and sees a bunch of them make plays. So there's been those signs there. Now it's putting it together for a complete team performance.
Oh, nearly a pick. Adua Akandaye, a freshman defensive lineman, had it in his mitts.
Woo! We almost had a big fella getting loose. The left-hand club makes that a pretty difficult one.
I mean, he almost caught that with the left upright.
Would have been impressive. You pull that down, and all of a sudden, once that glove comes off, you're making a petition for the hands team after that play.
I mean, he's lucky. Oklahoma State's lucky he didn't bring that in, because That stiff arm to the end zone would have been unstoppable.
Unstoppable, and he looks right on the edge of a big guy touchdown. I don't know if that quite counts as a thick 6. Number 94 looks a little thin, but I probably would have gotten up the effort as he gets up the turnover sword.
He's banking it on downs, even though he doesn't get the pick.
If they're going to give you credit for it, go ahead and take it, young man. Go ahead and take it.
We'll see the Pokes again in Stillwater next week. What are those building blocks, those stepping stones that they should take out of this loss today?
Consistent effort through all 4 quarters. You had a pick 6 in the second half. Your defensive intensity matched that burst you saw by the offense last week. Continuing to find those little teachable moments, if you're Doug Meacham and the staff, going to be important for keeping that morale high and keeping this group together the way he wants to.
I want to thank Brett Gleason.